96.9 FM. Fresh news, smart talk, all day. The views and opinions of the hosts and guests are their own and do not necessarily reflect the position of the management and staff of Guardian Network.
Good morning. 3 shot, 1 dead in a weekend of violence. 2 killed in a plane crash in the Ragged Islands. Commonwealth leaders agree for honest conversations over reparations. And the caretaker in that controversial matter in Grand Bahama agrees to give the family back their home. It's all straight ahead this morning. I'm Dwight Strachan, and this is Morning Blend.
It's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day. It's the start of a new way. Don't you know that it's the start of the end of the old way. Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day.
Good morning again, Bahamas. It is Monday, October 28th, 2024. This is Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9. Again, I'm Dwight Strachan. In a moment, Deandra Cartwright will be joining us. Also this morning, we will get details about the upcoming HASIS Women's Empowerment Initiative. And later in business, we are talking about the National Trade Development Program. All the details about that as well. That's all ahead on this Monday. But first, it's time for the overnight, the latest breaking news from while you were sleeping, and the top national and international headlines this morning. In the overnight, a man shot dead and another injured at West End Avenue in New Providence. This happened on Saturday. Another man was wounded in a separate shooting at noon on Willow Tree Street in Pinewood Gardens. The victim, a 25-year-old, was sitting in his car when 2 gunmen approached and shot him. He was taken to hospital and was last listed in critical condition. With the earlier shootings on West End Avenue, that happened around 4 p.m. Police responding to reports of gunshots in the area and found 2 men in their 20s lying in the street suffering from gunshot wounds. One of the victims died at the scene, and the other was taken to the hospital where his condition was not known up to late yesterday. Police say the victims, along with a group of people, were standing in a church parking lot when 2 men got out of a dark-colored car and shot them. Police are asking for anyone with information to contact them at 919. The murder count now stands at 99. The charred remains of 2 people found in the wreckage of a plane crash on Ragged Island. Police say they were notified of the crash east of Duncantown Airport shortly before 5 a.m. Officers, including personnel from the Royal Bahamas Defense Force, Operation Bahamas Turks and Caicos, OPBAT, and the Drug Enforcement Agency, responded and found the twin-engine plane engulfed in flames and destroyed. Police say further examination of the aircraft initially revealed the remains of 1 person, but later they noticed that there was a second person on board. Details of the plane and the identity of the occupants unclear. The prosecution has closed its case against North Abaco MP Kirk Cornish as his lawyer criticized the adequacy of the evidence against him. Cornish is accused of assaulting, raping, and threatening to kill his then-girlfriend between January 2023 and April 2023. Cornish has denied the allegations at his trial before Justice Renee McKay. ASP Ramondo Russell said that he went to Abaco in April of 2023 to conduct inquiries. While there, he spoke to the complainant's mother, who said that Cornish accidentally poked her daughter in the eye. During her testimony, the complainant said that Cornish poked her repeatedly in her eye and choked her because he was upset that she was on the phone. The woman claimed that Cornish threatened to put a bullet in her head and that he raped her in March and April. Russell said that he never saw the complainant during his investigations. A judge revoking the bail of an American woman and her Bahamian boyfriend who are accused of planning to kill her estranged husband. However, Senior Justice Cheryl Grant Thompson suspended her decision to remand Lindsay Shiver and Terrence Bethel into custody pending an appeal of her decision. Shiver and Bethel are expected to appear in court today for confirmation that an appeal has been filed. Prosecutors allege that the couple conspired with Ferron Newbold Jr. to kill Shiver's husband, Robert, on July 20th, 2023. Acting Director of Public Prosecutions, Cordell Frazier, applied to revoke their bail for non-compliance of bail conditions. As a condition of her bail, Shiver was supposed to stay at her parents' home in Alabama. However, data from her ankle bracelet showed that she had changed her address without getting prior court approval. While Shiver was away from her designated residence on July 29th, another boyfriend, Dorsey Ryan Love, allegedly threw her onto a bed, tried to choke her, and suffocated her with a pillow in a house on North Cherokee Street. Love has been charged and Shiver was granted a protection order. And amid controversy over the assets of an elderly Grand Bahamian woman, which family members claim were wrongfully taken by the owner of a private care facility she was living in, the Bahamas Alzheimer's Association is calling on the government to implement regulations to protect seniors. The group says the government needs to urgently address the lack of regulation in elder care facilities following the recent incident in which a resident allegedly signed over their family home and granted control or power of attorney to a facility owner. Philippa Carey told ZNS Grand Bahama that she made the decision to place her grandmother, Ingrid Carey, into a care facility called Home Away from Home in 2023 because she was taking a job on another island. However, when she returned to Grand Bahama, she said she met the owner, Mervy Knowles, living in her grandmother's home while her grandmother was still at the private care facility. While Knowles has maintained that she was carrying out the wishes of Ingrid Carey, the family argues that she took advantage of their elderly relative. And leaders of Commonwealth nations saying that the time has come to have truthful and respectful conversations regarding reparations for the abhorrent transatlantic slave trade. According to a communique released at the end of the Commonwealth Heads of Government meeting in Samoa, a statement saying that a day after King Charles acknowledged the Commonwealth's painful past amid growing calls from Caribbean leaders for Britain to pay reparations for its role in slavery, ahead of CHOGM, UK Prime Minister Keir Starmer said that he was not interested in discussing reparations, while Bahamian Prime Minister Philip Davis told reporters last week that it was necessary to have the conversation. This instance, paragraph 22 of the CHOGM communique said that leaders noted the calls for discussions on reparatory justice with regard to the transatlantic trade, and that they've agreed that the time has come for a meaningful, truthful, and respectful conversation towards forging a common future based on equity. Overseas, Japanese Prime Minister Shigeru Ishiba's ruling coalition lost a majority in the 165 seat lower house in a key parliamentary election, a punishment by voters' outrage over the governing party's extensive financial scandals. Ishiba's Liberal Democratic Party remains the top party in Japan's parliament, and a change of government is not expected, but the results create political uncertainty. falling short of a majority makes it difficult for Sheba to get his party's policies through Parliament, and he may need to find a third coalition partner. The LDP's coalition retains a majority in the less powerful upper house. All told, the ruling coalition with junior partner Comito secured 215 seats, down sharply from the majority 279 it previously held. It is the coalition's worst result since briefly falling from power in 2009. Sheba took office on October 1st and immediately ordered the election in hopes of shoring up support after his predecessor, Fumio Kishida, failed to address public anger over the LDP's scandals. And former president of Bolivia, Evo Morales, claimed he had survived an assassination attempt on Sunday after unidentified men opened fire on his car. He was not injured in the alleged attack that quickly became the latest flashpoint in a power struggle between the ex-leader and his protege-turned-rival, current president Luis Arce. The 65-year-old Morales blamed the president's government for the outburst of violence, saying it was part of a coordinated campaign by Bolivian authorities to sideline him from politics. The incident coincides with a bitter rift at the highest rungs of the ruling movement towards socialism, or MAS. Both Morales and Arce, his former economy minister, are fighting to lead the party into next year's elections. In sports, the Bahamas defeated by the Dominican Republic 4-1 in the final round of the Caribbean Baseball Cup qualifiers Sunday. The game at the Andre Rogers Stadium saw the Bahamas start strong but falter against a formidable Dominican lineup. The Bahamas took an early lead in the second inning. Terrell Outen's single run putting them ahead. However, the Dominican team decisively responded in the third inning. Francisco Gonzalez hit a home run to right field, driving in 3 runs and shifting the momentum to a 3-1 lead. The Bahamas finishing the tournament with a 1-4 record. Read more about it in today's Guardian Sports section. From the NFL, Jane Daniels' Hail Mary touchdown, Noah Brown giving the Washington Commanders an 18-15 win with just a second to spare over the Chicago Bears. Brock Purdy helping the San Francisco 49ers bounce back with a 30-24 victory over the Dallas Cowboys. Patrick Mahomes passing for 262 yards and 2 touchdowns as the Kansas City Chiefs beat the Raiders 27-20. The Chiefs are still undefeated with a 7-0 record. And James Winston throwing 3 touchdown passes as the Cleveland Browns stunned Lamar Jackson and the Baltimore Ravens 29-24 to end their 5-game losing streak for the Browns. From the NBA, Stephen Curry injured his left ankle late in the third quarter on Sunday's 112-104 loss to the Los Angeles Clippers. As they tried to return, then exited again and left the court for the locker room. Curry returned briefly in the fourth quarter before leaving 13 seconds after turning his ankle. It appeared to roll outward during the game. And Game 3 of the World Series set for tonight in New York. Big question, though, is whether Shohei Ohtani will play for the LA Dodgers. Concerns seemed to vanish, though, as Dodgers players wore smiles at Yankee Stadium as they prepared for Game 3 tonight. Ohtani got hurt, sliding into second base when he was caught stealing to the end of the 7th inning. During Saturday's 4-2 victory over New York in Game 2 in L.A., fans and teammates wondered whether Show would be able to go on this week, but apparently he will tonight. The Dodgers have a 2-0 lead in the series. That's sports, and that's the overnight. Time for your first look at weather. Your first look at weather for today. We've got a strong high-pressure system just north of the Bahamas that's going to continue to influence the weather, generating very windy conditions reaching gale force across the islands. A stationary front extends from a low-pressure system just northeast of the southeast Bahamas in the Windward Passage. However, this front will dissipate today ahead of a reinforcing cold front that will move across the islands and stall across the southeast Bahamas by Wednesday. Strong high pressure will follow, increasing the winds, building the seas, and creating hazardous conditions. So again, gale force winds expected, strong to gale force across the country this week, beginning today. And boaters should exercise caution due to building seas, hazardous marine conditions expected through Wednesday with strong winds and high seas. Beachgoers in the northern and northwest Bahamas are advised to exercise caution due to moderate risk of rip currents, and beachgoers in the central and southeast Bahamas are advised to stay out of the water due to the high risk of rip currents and rough and dangerous surf. Your forecast for today for the northern and northwest Bahamas, partly cloudy and breezy to windy with a chance of isolated showers. Winds northeast to east at 15 to 20 knots with higher gusts. For the central Bahamas and the southeast Bahamas, partly cloudy and windy with isolated showers. Thunderstorms possible in the southeastern islands. Winds northeast to east at 15 to 25 knots with higher gusts. Temperatures today, we're looking at highs in the mid-80s, about 85 Fahrenheit, 30 Celsius. Overnight lows tonight getting down to the upper 60s. We haven't seen that for a while. Maybe about 69 Fahrenheit, 20 Celsius. For lows tonight. That's your first look at weather this morning. We'll have your extended outlook and a look at the tropics coming up in just a bit. This first look at weather brought to you by Scotiabank, reminding you that you can be a fraud fighter. Sharing isn't always caring. Keep your personal and financial info private. Never share account details with anyone. A reminder from your friends at Scotiabank. It is time for a break, but when we come back, we're discussing the day's top stories right here on Guardian Radio 96.9, your home for fresh news and smart talk all day.
It's the start of the end of the old way. Wake up, it's a new day.
Tired of banks forcing you to use technology to bank the way they want you to? Your convenience is important. So no matter what your banking needs, Commonwealth Bank's friendly staff are always available in branch for that personal one-on-one service. But when you choose technology, our online and mobile banking app offers you state-of-the-art functionality. The choice is yours. Commonwealth Bank. Bank the way you want.
Looking to elevate your gadget game, or are tech troubles simply slowing you down? Escape to a world of innovation at Custom Computers, your go-to store for the latest cutting-edge tech. Whether you need to upgrade your life with the best from Apple and Windows, or your device needs a little TLC, the Custom Computers Know-How Store is the destination for unbeatable expertise and quality repairs. With 2 convenient locations, there's a Custom Computers near you on Patton Street in Palmdale and Caves Village, or call 396-1100.
It's easy to go the extra mile when you fill up with Esso Synergy Supreme Plus Fuel. It keeps your engine clean and running smoothly, which helps to make every fill-up last longer. Choose Esso Synergy Supreme Plus Fuel today for better gas mileage and better performance. The Esso brand is a trademark of ExxonMobil Corporation and is used under license. Benefits are based on Synergy-branded gasoline compared to gasoline meeting minimum government detergency standards. Actual benefits vary based on factors such as vehicle type, driving style, and gasoline previously used.
The future of driving is here, and it's electric. Welcome to EV City, Easy Car Sales' new home for electric vehicles. Whether you want an affordable model or a luxury ride, EV City has the perfect electric car for you. Don't word for it. Come test drive the power, the smoothness, and the savings. You'll love electric after just one ride. Cut your driving costs in half and say goodbye to gas stations for good. Visit EV City on the highway through the Solomon Service Road and drive into the future today.
Whenever you want, wherever you are, for all your banking needs, we make it easy. CIBC, First Caribbean, we've got all your banking solutions. CIBC, First Caribbean. CIBC, First Caribbean.
Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day. It's the start of a new way. Don't you know that it's the start of the end of the old way. Wake up, it's a new day. 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 Wake up, wake up.
Welcome back to Morning Blend here on Guardian Radio 96.9. We are streaming live on GuardianTalkRadio.com and on the Guardian Radio app for smart devices. We're also on your televisions on Cable Bahamas Channel 969 and BTC Flow Channel 612. You can tweet us at Morning Blend 969 or Facebook.com/Morning Blend 969. Text us on the Guardian Radio text line, powered by BTC 422-4796. Standard text rate supply. Once again, I'm Dwight Strachan. In a moment, Deandra Cartwright will be joining us. Also this morning, we're going to find out more about the HASIS Women's Empowerment Initiative that's coming up in a few days. We'll get the details about that, what you need to know to be a part of that. And then later in business, we are talking about the National Trade Diversification Program. We'll get all the details, what you need to know about that as well. So that's all ahead. But right now, let's talk about what's in the news. And in the news, Well, the National Guardian making some news. We've got a big anniversary coming up in November, which is just days away, and we're getting the celebration started now. So as we prepare to turn 180 years old, the National Guardian wants to thank you, our loyal readers, for helping to make this one of the oldest newspapers in the region. We want you to be part of our Vision Challenge giveaway promotion, which begins today through November 22nd. All you need to do is find the hidden Nassau Guardian 180 years logo printed every day in the Nassau Guardian newspaper, and you could win prize money. Just purchase your daily Nassau Guardian today and every day until November 22nd. Find the hidden 180th Nassau Guardian logo, cut out the page, mark the spot, write your name and phone number on that clipping, and drop off your entries at our offices here in Oaksfield, and once the office opens after 9. And every Friday, beginning this Friday, November 1st, and the 8th, and the 15th, and the 22nd, one drawing will take place to pick the lucky winner, and you'll get to win some cash. It's that simple. The Nassau Guardian 180th Anniversary Vision Challenge giveaway. Just the beginning of a number of special things happening to celebrate the Nassau Guardian's 180th anniversary. 180 years. Can you believe it? Wow. Yeah. So do that today, folks, beginning today. So quite a bit in the news this morning. Another weekend of violence. 3 shot, 1 dead in a couple of different incidents. So a man was shot dead and another injured at West End Avenue in New Providence on Saturday. Then there was a separate incident. Another man was wounded at noon on Willow Tree Street in Pinewood Gardens. With that matter, the victim, a 25-year-old, was sitting in his car when 2 gunmen approached and shot him. He was taken to the hospital and was last listed in critical condition. But back to the other incident from Saturday afternoon, the shootings on West End Avenue. That happened around 4 p.m. Police responded to reports of gunshots in the area and found 2 men in their 20s lying in the street, suffering from gunshot wounds. One of the victims died at the scene, and the other was taken to the hospital, where his condition is unclear right now. Police say that the victims, along with a group of people, had been standing in a church parking lot when 2 men got out of a dark-colored vehicle and shot them. Police asking for anyone with information to give them a call. So this, according to our count, has the number of murders for the year so far at 99. 99. Wow. And also over the weekend, a plane crash in Ragged Island. This one, interesting stuff. The charred remains of 2 people found in the wreckage of a plane that crashed on Ragged Island yesterday morning. Police say they were notified of the crash east of Duncantown Airport shortly before 5 a.m. And that is odd, isn't it? Before 5, and there's a little plane. Officers, including personnel from the Defense Force and OPBAT and the DEA, responded and found the twin-engine plane engulfed in flames and destroyed. Police say further examination of the aircraft initially revealed the remains of 1 person, but they later noticed a second person was found as well. Details on the plane and the identity of the occupants unclear. Wow. And we spoke about this on Friday. The reparations talk, Commonwealth leaders agreeing for honest conversations over reparations. What does that mean exactly? We don't know. But they are at least agreeing to have honest conversations at the close of CHOGM in Samoa. So we'll see what comes out of that. All right, so another story here. It is inside the Nassau Guardian today. For some bizarre reason, the competitor has decided to make this their lead story. It doesn't make any sense because this affects probably 5 people in the whole country. But anyway, it's interesting. It's gossipy and it's tabloidish. So that's probably why they did it. But I don't know. Anyway, but bail revoked for murder plot couple. Our Artesia Davis writing about it. A judge on Friday revoked the bail of an American woman and her Bahamian boyfriend who were accused of planning to kill her estranged husband. Normally, I wouldn't read this story, but there's something in here that, oh boy, Wow. Anyway, however, Senior Justice Cheryl Grant Thompson suspended her decision to remand Lindsay Shiver and Terrence Bethel into custody pending an appeal of her decision. So Shiver and Bethel are expected to appear in court today for confirmation that an appeal has been filed. Prosecutors allege that the couple conspired with Ferran Newbold Jr. to kill Shiver's husband, Robert Shiver, on July 20th, 2023. You remember the story. Acting Director of Public Prosecutions Cordell Frazier applied to revoke their bail for non-compliance of bail conditions. As a condition of her bail, Shiver was supposed to stay at her parents' home in Alabama. However, data from her ankle bracelet showed that she had changed her address without getting prior court approval. And remember, last week we were talking about the unfortunate incident with the ATV that turned over and the American that killed his friend, or caused the death, I guess, of his friend. And we were saying that he got bail, but he's supposed to be, going back home. And we were wondering how that happens, and we were told by our police friends that, we got a few people on bail and who are in the States and on an ankle bracelet monitoring system. Like, what? How does that work? Well, here we go. Lindsay Shiver is one of those people. So she moved away from her parents' home without getting approval. While Shiver was away, you listening to this? Welcome, DeAndre Cartwright. Great to have you with us. Let's get your mic
Dwight,
over there.
Sean, you're starting strong on a Monday morning.
Listen to this story. While Shiver was away from her designated residence on July 29th, another boyfriend.
Oh, gee.
How many?
Hold on, wait now.
Anyway. Another boyfriend, Dorsey Ryan Love, allegedly threw her onto a bed, tried to choke her, and suffocated her with a pillow in a house on North Cherokee Street, wherever that is. Love has been charged, and Shiver was granted a protection order.
Oh, my.
Another boyfriend. But the alleged incident led Grant Thompson to rule that she should be remanded for her safety and for the bail breaches.
Bail breaches?
Before,
Okay.
let me finish the story, and then I'll say what I have to say. I don't want to be a judgmental person, because who am I to judge?
Whoa.
But
It's coming through your voice, my
what?
guy.
But as for Bethel, prosecutors accused him of taking it upon himself to choose which police station to report to. Oh, my goodness. Initially, Bethel was supposed to check into the Marsh Harbor police station 3 times a week. However, Bethel was allowed to relocate to New Providence, and his sign-in station was changed to the Elizabeth Estates police station. According to the station's records, Bethel only reported to the Elizabeth Estates police station once and is now reporting to the Abaco station. What? Grant Thompson found that he'd breached his bail and ordered his bail revoked. Newbold, who was also present in court, was advised to continue adhering to his bail conditions. Okay, so I mean, again, I just want to know. What is it? I don't want to say anything because it's case, but I mean, nobody's dead here. But still, if you know that this lady that you like is out on bail for conspiring to kill her husband, is she good girlfriend material? I just want to know.
Well, people want different things from their relationships, Dwight. May not be
Chaos
the usual.
and madness.
And actually, some people are attracted to that. Like, it's crazy. It's I'm sure the psychologist can explain it much better, but essentially, some people need to have upheaval in order to think that's normal, especially if they come from those backgrounds, right?
Sometimes you need some excitement, I guess.
But I have a question. I didn't know we get to choose if we were on bail. I
Apparently
didn't know
you
we
don't.
get to choose.
You got to tell people, though. Apparently, it didn't work out in New Providence. I'm going back to Abaco, so I'll be checking in there. Is that fine? Just let them know.
Let them know. I thought if you're getting
At least he was checking in.
I mean, okay, yes, but you get to choose to switch in between. I didn't realize that the courts go back and forth.
He moved back. Or maybe, I don't know.
So then there should have been a revision in the order, no?
Well, you should have talked to somebody.
Oh my goodness. I don't know. Now I also have another question. When we have persons that are on bail and complying in other jurisdictions, is there an agreement with law enforcement in that area to ensure that said person actually adheres to those conditions? Because I'm just trying to figure out if somebody over here were to change their location without letting the police know, what would happen?
Well, the company that's monitoring you lets them know something's going on. This person's not where they're supposed to be.
So are we saying that there was possibly negligence on the other side?
Why?
I don't know.
We found out.
after, like how long later? Anyway, sorry. You know what? It's too early on a Monday. It's too early.
I still just want to know.
We have questions.
How you be dating people out on bail for
That's treat
attempted murder or conspiring to murder?
innocent, man. Innocent till proven guilty. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Well, I think if I remember correctly, the husbands, didn't they post her bail or something like that? If I remember. But hey, whatever. Just wanted you to hear that. That's some cool, interesting stuff. This texture says, hey, it sounds like topical news to me and equally worthy of a front page story.
Topical and
I mean,
front page, that's
you know,
contradictory though, right? No?
I mean, I hear them. I mean, maybe I think what we have on the front page is more consequential to the average behavior.
But the thing about it is, Dwight, we have to acknowledge, sensational news sells.
Absolutely.
So all of those different things that you mentioned in that particular situation, lots of people would perhaps be interested.
And in this era of online, and all these papers available online, it went on the front page. Everything's in there. So you'll find it if that's what you're looking for.
Yeah. And some people, that's all they look for.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, so speaking of topical and newsworthy, Grand Bahama had the country in the grip last week. Everybody watching the drama
over the weekend too, man.
Over the weekend too. The reaction still coming in about
people printed shirts, Dwight.
I saw that shirts, songs. People.
Well, I mean, the songs were coming. Our artists are amazing that way.
Memes,
just
the
give
gifts,
them less than 24 hours.
Everything is out there. It is wild, and that name will live on for.
Yeah, for a while we remember
forever.
And then we forget, and then it may happen again, as with every other incident.
Well, so the very latest, after all of that, if you remember correctly what's going on, the young woman who had to put her grandmother in a home because she was moving away for work, and she came back home and went to the family home, only to find the same caretaker, the person whose home she put her grandmother in, living in her house. And I'm like, what's going on here? And the caretaker, Murphy Knowles, says, yeah, your grandmother signed the house over to me and gave me power of attorney, and I'm getting her NIB and everything now. So bye-bye to you, and carry on smartly. And, of course, that didn't go well. She went to the media. And the people of Grand Bahama took to the streets, and really impressive showing of we're not going to take this nonsense anymore. And so the pressure, I guess, became too great for the caretaker. Take a listen to the latest as of Friday evening from our Jared Higgs.
A caregiver who claims that one of her elderly patients gifted her home to her and made her the beneficiary of her pension benefits is now saying that she's releasing the Bahama house back to the woman. Murphy Knowles, the owner of a home away from home nursing home in Freeport, Grand Bahama, came under fire after the granddaughter of Ingrid Carey, an elderly patient at a home away from home, revealed that Knowles had taken over their home, purportedly with paperwork signed over to her by the elderly woman. Well, today, after a huge uproar in Grand Bahama and on Bahamian social media, Knowles told the Nassau Guardian in a phone call that she was releasing the house back to Carey.
Just wanted to ask if you're gonna, if anything has changed, or if you're staying in the house, gonna leave it. Just want to know.
If you want to know if I can do what?
What's your position? Is it still that you're staying there, or?
No, I'm going to give it to them because I have all these other persons in the nursing home here, and because of all the stuff what they doing and tearing out my name and people calling me and threatening me, I'm being threatened by people, police that escort me yesterday and everything like that. I say it don't work. I'm a woman healing from cancer also too. I don't need all of this. I have not done anything wrong. It was given to me by the lady, but I'd rather release it back to the lady.
Okay, you're going to give it back to the family.
Right.
Right. Do you know, like, did you understand why people were so upset about it? Do you understand, or?
Because the lady was saying that she played with dementia when I got from the doctor that she went to, and from the government doctor, not my doctor, not her doctor, the government doctor said that she do not have dementia.
Yesterday, a joint statement from the Ministry of Grand Bahama and the Ministry of Social Services said they were deeply concerned hearing about the serious allegations involving a private care facility in Grand Bahama. That statement says Social Services is investigating and the matter was handed over to police.
All right, Jared Higgs with that report there. So, hey, let's get your reaction to it. There are other reports that she's spoken to other media houses telling them that she just wants some money back for the repairs that she made. Let's get your reaction to all of it.
Can I be petty for a minute? Because, you know, she got a Long Island last name. So there were several sets of commentary from my people. And so I just want to take this opportunity to say that is not a Long Island Knowles, okay? Just throwing that out there.
How do you know?
Them people don't do their research. Her lineage, they already going to research that woman.
Okay, sorry.
Furthermore, they say that could not have been one of our people either.
From where? Luther. Our producer says Luther. Oh,
exactly.
Oh, boy.
No, listen, Long Island people, you don't.
Wow.
No.
Okay, let's hear from you folks. 323-6232. 325-4316. 325-4259. Call us toll free 242-300-5720. Listen, this is not a joking matter. This is a serious thing, and it cannot go like this. Already, the Alzheimer's Association, we just had them on a few weeks ago. They're calling for the government to implement regulations to protect seniors. Well, we want to talk about this with lawyers on the show tomorrow, so stay tuned for that. Okay. There were a lot of people involved in this, including lawyers and supposedly psychologists, and we just cannot imagine that it would be like, oh, all's well that ends well. No, not at all. And lots of questions about how many other people like this and what to do if you're in fear of this happening to you or to your family members. What do you do? Yes, you need to have a will. Everybody needs to have a will, a living will as well.
The thing is, Dwight.
But my goodness, there's some slick people out there, slick-tongued people, and people willing to take advantage of anything. Not that this has necessarily happened here. We don't know. She's saying that the grandmother in question here is of sound mind, unlike what the family is saying.
Mm-hmm. The thing is, Dwight, I want to say it's been a few months, maybe 2 months or so. My Rotary Club South Ocean, shout out, along with the Bahamas Alzheimer's Association, we had a session for caregivers. And this is one of the concerns that was reiterated several times with a great deal of frustration, where there were attempts by family members, by other persons sharing the burden of care, of there being attempts to take advantage of the person that was suffering from dementia. It was also shared that even trying to get a will done after that person has already started showing signs of dementia is quite difficult, right? And then also it can be quite complicated when it comes to drafting legal documentation for somebody who's already started, unfortunately, experiencing symptoms of dementia. And then how do you perhaps get that done if the care for that person before the onset of dementia is shared, right? Because you have internal family conflicts as to who thinks they're supposed to be entitled to the belongings of that elderly person. And all of this just came out. And I'm like, this is happening, we don't talk about it much. I'm not happy, obviously, that this situation occurred, but at least we have public attention on something that has been really hitting some of our own people at their heart, because it's disgusting behavior, really.
Absolutely. Yeah, incredibly. All right, so let's hear from you. Good morning, caller. You're on the air.
Good morning, Dwight. Good morning to the Madam.
Hi. Good morning.
Yes, good morning. Hello, good morning.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yes, what is your question?
No, we're asking your opinion on this. Okay. Okay. Let's take another call. Good morning, caller. You're on the air. Hi.
Good morning, Dwight, and good morning to your guest.
Morning.
You know, I like how she made it clear she went Bahamian on us this morning. You know, and I like to add to her Bahamianese and say, well, mottos. She want money back.
Or well, Murphy. Well, Murphy. Anyway,
Her name doesn't deserve to be uttered.
Oh, boy.
But she wants money back. So what happened to she's talking about giving back the home. What happened to the other belongings? What happened to the fact that she made herself power of attorney over this person who...
Well, I don't know if we can say that. I mean, there's confusion, maybe, but I don't know if she made herself. I don't know if we can say that.
Well, in other words, she claimed that she was made power of attorney over the lady. If the lady has all her senses, why would she need a power of attorney? You understand? She make her will up, or she do her thing, and she put who she are these family members or something. She needs to give back everything, not just the home, and the money that she's claiming to want back. I'm assuming it's the same money she takes from the woman. So what money she want back?
Well, she said she made repairs. Thanks a lot. Thanks for calling. She made repairs to the home, and she just wants that back. I mean, you could say that. Will you get it? Because I think folks have grounds to sue her. But anyway, this texter says here, so many questions, but all I want to say is that the people of Grand Bahama do have voices, the things we rise up for when Grand Bahama has so many issues, though. I'm not saying the woman is right or wrong, but they need to keep that same energy with the politicians. Yeah, we were hearing a lot of that last week. This can't end like this. Has the caretaker been the recipient of any other assets signed over from elderly people in her care and of no relation to her? She shouldn't be getting any money back. If you buy a stolen car and put on some new tires, the owner will not reimburse you for the tires. I bet you some people would ask for it, though. Some people would ask. So the nerve of some out there, that's amazing. But yeah, stop taking things from elderly people in your care. Well, we'll see. Okay, well, there's a lot of dispute about the which Knowles and who's the Knowles and where's the Knowles from. So we're not going to get into that today. DeAndre, what have you started? But in any event, this is questionable behavior.
Definitely questionable
for a
behavior.
Bahamian. And
From a good Long Island person, I think not.
Well, okay. Yeah, it's just pure ageism and elderly abuse.
It is abuse. That's what it is.
It's very unfortunate. Well, again, anybody in a diminished capacity, right? I mean, this is wrong. This is wrong. The only reason this ended like this is because of social media and public uproar. If she was still waiting on the police, this would still be in the lady's hands. Well, I don't know if you mean only social media. You mean all media. You first heard about it on the regular traditional media, and then it went viral. So all media, traditional and social, and public uproar. If she was still waiting on the police, this would still be in the lady's hands. The police failed her. The lawyers failed her. Well, I hope she did. I don't know if she went to the police. I'm not sure. But she certainly went to the media, and that got a response. Yes, everyone's saying that. This reminds me of the Netflix movie I Care a Lot. Yeah.
Yeah, people were saying that.
Let's take some more calls, and you can call in as well. 323-6232. 325-4316. 325-4259. And you can call us toll free, 242-300. 300-5720. All right, caller, good morning. You're on the air.
Deandra.
Hi, good morning.
Dwight, this is just perhaps one of the things that many persons are unaware of that happens, especially in nursing homes and care places where the elderly are cared for. You know, over the years, people have been addressing certain aspects that they realize has been happening in some of these homes. And, it's kind of concerning now, especially with this case. This case only brought the mushroom to the room, if I could put it like that. We have heard about persons now allegedly, dying in nursing homes. Life insurances have been taken out against these persons. We have heard about the abuse of the elderly inside these homes, and especially, which is more egregious, family members do not go and check on their elderly family inside these homes on a regular basis. We've watched many movies on Netflix saying that is a station that was mentioned. We watch it on many other programs where we see the potential abuse of elderly in some of these homes. Their families do not go and check on their family members. It's more like they just drop them there and forget about them. In closing, the way that we treat the elderly in particular, I'm not even talking about children right now, but the elderly who have given their lives to this country, who have served their time here, and the way that we look at them, treat them, it speaks volumes to the mindset of the psyche of a nation. We have to really, really pay close attention to how the elderly is abused, as well as ourselves being abused by the systems that's in place. We have the opportunity to fix these systems. We have the opportunity to bring these persons who have perpetrated these things to justice. And until we begin to do that, these matters are not going to change one iota. It's kind of interesting that the lawyer and everything has been involved in this process, and in their right mind, they allowed this to happen. It is very unconscionable, and I just want to see what's going to happen with every party member that was involved with this situation, because this stinks. It really stinks.
It's so surprising we haven't heard from. Thanks a lot. We haven't heard from the Bar Association yet. At least saying they're going to look into this. They need to say something, and medical associations as well need to say something.
Mm-hmm.
This is crazy. This texter says here, this woman, claims this was a legitimate transaction, but did she reach out to the woman who put her in the home? It isn't a cheap process to change property taxes, change property over and the taxes, etc. Who will pay for all of that to be done? Well, which part do you mean? I mean, who did pay? Who did pay? Lots of questions. Again, I'm hoping that no one thinks this can end like this, right? The government needs to really speak out, and there needs to be some consequences. Heads need to roll here. Let's take this call before we take a break. Good morning. You're on the air. Good morning.
Yes, good morning, Dwight, and good morning, Ms. Cartwright.
Hi, good morning.
C. Allen Johnson. And Dwight, let me just start to say the truth needs no revisions. And this case on Grand Bahama had more twists and turns than a couple of those tornadoes inside of these hurricanes. When they asked concerning the fact that for the whole amount of time that the woman who signed the affidavit, who signed the paperwork, no one ever asked or had the consciousness of mind to say if a woman has the ability to sign and she was in her right mind, to let her speak for herself and say why she did what she did. The story moved from the police to the daughter to the social services, and maybe even other variations of how the woman ended up into the home. The information changed from how the lady ended up in the house initially, from not being able to find the house, to the daughter helping her to the house, to the fact that she left the mother / grandmother in the house, at the home, and then returned only to find a person there, to actually having a conversation on how she met them there before. And so if you just take the time and listen to the news media that carried the story, I say to the people that we should be measuring twice and cutting once, trust but verify. Now, the important aspect of this, though, Dwight, it brings to something an advocacy that has been going on for almost 20 years by both myself and Cleaver Duncombe for the protection of the most vulnerable in the country, beginning with youth and the senior citizen. Once an adult, twice a child. And yet, we hopefully would see this as an opportunity for us to examine the processes for holding people responsible for the abuse of or neglect of senior citizens or those the most vulnerable, because there are individuals who may not even reach senior citizenship that could be suffering from the same type of abuse or lack, whether it be an adult, disabled, mentally challenged, or whatever, who may have come into inheritance directly or indirectly, who also may be separated from their assets.
Yeah.
And so hopefully we not just have talk, but actually some thought added to this conversation.
Absolutely.
That goes beyond a single person and a move to protect all of those that may be subject to some form of financial, physical, mental, or verbal abuse.
Yeah.
Thank you
Okay.
so much.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Before we go to the break, this text here, this sounds exactly like the case of the blind elderly man from Long Island who signed over acres of generational property to a religious organization unbeknownst to other family members. The property apparently includes a blue hole. The religious organization is now attempting to sell lots for second home ownership. What is going on in this country? Who are these lawyers? That's the text, and we are all asking the same questions. The same questions. What's going on? This person says, yeah, we need to institute Murphy's Law or Ingrid's Law. That's right. It wouldn't be the perpetrator. It would be named after for the victim. That's generally how that works.
Yes.
But hey, let's take a break. And if you weren't, were you there over the weekend at Rod Stewart?
No.
No, neither was I, because I couldn't afford it. But if you couldn't, we got you covered. We got Rod Stewart all morning here on Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9.
Love is slipping away. Let me still exist in another place, running on the cover of a helicopter plane. Flames are getting higher in effigy, burning down the bridges of my memory. Love may still be alive somewhere, some way, where they're down and only dear 100 steel towns away. Oh, the rhythm of my heart is beating like a drum, with the words I love you rolling off my tongue. No, never will I roam, for I know my place is home, where the ocean meets the sky. I'm said.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM, Nassau, Bahamas.
It is time for your first look at traffic for the morning, brought to you by RBC. Find your loan solution with RBC. Still got a few schools on midterm, so traffic situation is going to be a lot better today. That should likely change by tomorrow, though. So right now, we're seeing some heavy traffic on Mile Above the Highway, but definitely not what you normally see at this hour. So the traffic is north of the Fire Trail roundabout in the northbound lanes on the way to Tonic Williams-Darling Highway. And Blue Hill Road, just north of Soldier Road on the way to Independence Drive. You'll see a few cars in front of you there. And a bit of congestion near Robinson Road, the roundabout there. And again, near Cordo Avenue on Blue Hill northbound. Elsewhere, not really much to talk about this morning, except for Carmichael, some slow-moving traffic westbound to Coral Harbor Road. That's your Morning Blend Traffic Alert. Brought to you by RBC. Start a conversation at rbc.com/loan/all of you. And time for another check of your weather for today, brought to you by Easy Car Sales. Here's what's going on. We've got a strong high-pressure system located north of the Bahamas. That will continue to influence the weather across the country, generating very windy conditions, reaching gale force across some of the islands. A stationary front extends from a low-pressure system located northeast of the southeast Bahamas to the Windward Passage. However, the front will dissipate later today ahead of a reinforcing cold front that will move across the Bahamas and stall across the southeastern islands by Wednesday. Strong high pressure will follow, increasing the winds, building the seas, and creating hazardous conditions. So boaters should exercise caution today as a result of the building seas. Hazardous marine conditions expected tomorrow through Wednesday with strong winds and high seas. Got a gale force warning, basically strong to gale force winds expected through Wednesday. And beachgoers in the central and southeast Bahamas should stay out of the water due to the high risk of rip currents in rough and dangerous surf. So for today, enjoy the more comfortable conditions. We're looking at partly cloudy and breezy to windy conditions in the northwest and northern Bahamas with a chance of isolated showers. Similar conditions in the central and southeastern islands, partly cloudy and windy with the chance of isolated showers, but a possibility for isolated thunderstorms in the southeast Bahamas. Temperatures today in the mid-80s, about 85 Fahrenheit, 29-30 Celsius. Overnight lows tonight getting down into the 60s, about 69 Fahrenheit, 21 Celsius for lows tonight. In your extended outlook for Tuesday, partly cloudy to cloudy and windy, with a few isolated showers and possible thunderstorms. By Wednesday, partly cloudy to cloudy and windy still with isolated to widely scattered showers and isolated thunderstorms. And Thursday, partly to mostly sunny, very windy, with a chance of isolated showers in the northern, northwest, and central Bahamas. Partly cloudy and very windy with isolated showers and isolated thunderstorms in the southeast Bahamas. We'll take a closer look at the tropics in just a bit. This weather check brought to you by Easy Car Sales. Easy Car Sales is having a sale on all 2024 EV models while they last. And now in-house financing is back to make it easy for everyone to drive electric. Visit easy242.com to find out more.
Maybe it's time to explore your options. There's no harm in reviewing your mortgage arrangement and considering a better deal. CIBC Caribbean can help you narrow your search and decide. Switch your mortgage to CIBC Caribbean and enjoy a special interest rate and help towards your switching cost. Visit CIBCFCIB.com/inspired home for more information. Conditions apply.
This October, Dunkin' Donuts is brewing more than just coffee. We're brewing strength because we're stronger together. Donate at any Dunkin' location to support breast cancer awareness, and we'll match every dollar you give. Together, we're making a real difference for the Sister Breast Cancer Support Group. Sip, smile, support. When we stand together, we're stronger together because the Bahamas runs on Dunkin'.
The Anchor Awards are just around the corner and we're celebrating our amazing fishers. Want to be a part of the fun? Grab your tickets now at ticketflare.com/Anchor Awards. Tickets are just $60 and it's super easy to purchase. Click Buy Tickets, choose how many you want, and boom, your QR codes get sent straight to your inbox. All you got to do now is dress up, show up, and let us scan you in. Don't miss out. Get your tickets today. Let's honor our Legends of the Sea on November 16th at the Bahama Resort Convention Center.
Living with a neurological condition shouldn't define you. At Cleveland Clinic in Florida, we do whatever it takes to make life better today while discovering new treatments for a brighter tomorrow. From epilepsy management to specialized spine care and brain tumor surgery, we're delivering world-class neurology care for the day-to-day, for the days you live for every care in the world. Visit clevelandclinicflorida.org/Caribbean.
It's easy to go the extra mile when you fill up with Esso Synergy Supreme Plus Fuel. It keeps your engine clean and running smoothly, which helps to make every fill-up last longer. Choose Esso Synergy Supreme Plus Fuel today for better gas mileage and better performance. The Esso brand is a trademark of ExxonMobil Corporation and is used under license. Benefits are based on Synergy-branded gasoline compared to gasoline meeting minimum government detergency standards. Actual benefits may vary based on factors such as vehicle type, driving style, and gasoline previously used.
Nassau Cruiseport is bringing you spooky fun. Thursday, October 31st from 7 p.m. to 1 a.m. Unleash your inner ghoul at Apocalypse. Grab your best costume for a night of music and karaoke with Ruma the Entertainer. Then turn up with Pusha Jr., DJ One Time, and more at the after party. $10 gets you in on the scary action with contests and surprises all night long. Apocalypse. It's gonna be scary good.
A legacy of leadership. Join the International Third World Leadership Association in partnership with the Miles and Ruth Monroe Foundation for Legacy Weekend, celebrating the legacy of Dr. Miles Monroe and other visionary leaders. November 8th to the 9th, experience 3 powerful events. ITWLA hosts Legacy Leadership Lectures, honoring distinguished global leaders. November 9th, the Miles and Ruth Monroe Foundation presents Legacy Walk to Remember, 5K and 10K routes along West Bay Streets, Nassau, Bahamas. Then join us for the Legacy Reunion Concert, featuring Grammy-winning gospel artist Yolanda Adams and Sherwin Gardner at the Miles E. Monroe Diplomat Center.
Hey guys, it's Yolanda Adams. It's about to be a celebration November 8th through the 10th at the Miles E. Monroe Diplomat Center. I can't wait to see you. Come on.
Visit ITWLA.com for details. Don't miss Legacy Weekend.
Enter to win big at the Entrepreneurship Think Tank, brought to you by the Tourism Development Corporation. Learn from top industry professionals on how to launch, scale, and expand your business, all for free. Sign up today to win big with our special jackpot prizes set to take your business to the next level. It's all happening at the Andre Rogers Baseball Stadium on October 15th at 5:45 p.m. Don't wait. Sign up today at tdcbahamas.com.
Hosted PBX Systems is an ideal solution for businesses seeking to maintain strong connections with your team and your vendors with flexibility, efficiency, and cost effectiveness. Hosted PBX service offers a budget-friendly alternative to traditional phone systems. Flexible, affordable, efficient, hosted PBX systems from a live business. Call us today for more details. 601-8911 in Nassau and 602-8811 in the Family Islands.
At Wendy's, we are different. We don't just use beef. It's fresh, never frozen. Our burgers are square because we never cut corners. Served hot off the grill with fresh lettuce, tomatoes, onions, and American cheese. We believe in fast food done right. Always serving fresh, never frozen beef. Order a hot, juicy Dave single, double, or triple. Made with fresh, never frozen beef. Now only at Wendy's. Different inside and out.
Maybe it's time to explore your options. There's no harm in reviewing your mortgage arrangement and considering a better deal. CIBC Caribbean can help you narrow your search and decide. Switch your mortgage to CIBC Caribbean and enjoy a special interest rate and help your switching cost. Visit CIBCFCIB.com/inspired home for more information. Conditions apply.
Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day. Turning my whole world around. Do you feel what I feel? Can we make it so that's part of the deal? I gotta hold you in these arms of steel. Lay your heart on the line. This time I wanna breathe when you breathe. When you whisper like that hot summer breeze. Count the beads of sweat that cover me. Didn't you show me a sign this time? Who else is gonna bring you a broken arrow? Who else is gonna bring you a bottle of rain? There we go, moving across the water. There we go.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM, Nassau, Bahamas.
Show me a sign this time. Who else is gonna bring you a broken arrow? Who else is gonna bring you a bottle of rain? There we go, moving across the water. There we go, turning my whole world
We are back with Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9. Dwight Strachan along with Deandra Cartwright on this Monday morning. Coming up in a few minutes, we're going to be talking with the organizers of the Hey Sis Women's Empowerment Initiative. We know one of them very, very well. She'll be joining us in just a few minutes. And later in business, we're talking with about the National Trade Diversification Program, getting all the information about that. So a lot more to get to on this Monday, but we continue to talk about what's in the news, getting a reaction to the stories making headlines over the weekend, and still getting a reaction to the caretaker case in Grand Bahama. Murphy Knowles said she's going to give the family back the home since there's so much uproar. I think she said in the clip we played that she didn't need all this stress. People have been harassing her and calling her and telling her a piece of their mind. And I guess, boy. So, we want to hear from you. 323-6232, 325-4316, 325-4259. Call us toll free, 242-300-5720. Dwight Strachan along with Deandra Cartwright with you on this Monday morning. Okay, let's see if we can take that call, and then we'll get to your text messages. Okay, let's do the call. Good morning, caller. You are on the air live. Hi, good morning.
Hello.
Hi, yes, good morning. Hi, we can hear you. Just speak for us. Okay, I don't know what's going on there. Well, let's take this call. Good morning, you're on the air.
Hello.
Hi, good morning.
Yeah, good morning, Dwight, and your guest. I'm wondering, how long has the caretaker been in the home of the lady? Would you know?
I don't know. I'm not too sure.
Because I don't know what size house it is, but shouldn't she, if they get their things back, okay, she's saying she got some money back, right? I saying time spent in the home is, that's like rent, right? And you're staying in the home, right? You shouldn't want no money back for the repairs you've done because you ain't paying no rent, you ain't doing nothing. All you're trying to claim somebody else's property. I would think time served.
She could want it all she wants. I mean, right? Is she going to get it? Would the family be silly enough to give her anything? That would be crazy. But you could want it. I want a lot of things. Will I get it? But yeah, no. I'm telling you, this can't end like this. Thanks a lot for calling. There needs to be lawsuits, and lawyers need to be examined carefully, and there needs to be consequences for this. This is a terrible thing that happened, and you giving it back is it's not how it works. Good morning, caller. You're on the air.
Yeah, Dwight, good morning. How could you can hear me?
Yes, we can.
Yeah, Dwight, please answer this question, because I know they interviewed the lady's family. But the question is, if you are power attorney over your brother or sister, why was she in condition? The point is, if you are the power attorney, why you didn't take care of your sister yourself? That's the question.
Sometimes putting somebody in a care facility is taking care of them.
Yeah, but I'm saying to you, you you put your care and this person. Why all these things going on, and now you just coming to light about it?
Yeah, I don't know if you're looking at this in the right way. The underhanded things are done behind their back.
Yeah, but it's just that I don't know. It sounds right to me. We need clarity on this whole matter. You know, when did she put her there? How long was she there? Was she checking on her? Was she doing visitations? All these things got to be answered. And if she wasn't checking, then obviously these other things may have happened.
I really don't understand when people talk like this. Thanks a lot. So you're justifying the behavior? Is this what you're saying? That because this is not the way you would have wanted things to go for you, that they deserve what they get? I keep asking this question. This is what I've been hearing a lot of people say over these past few days. Like, well, that's what you get for not being a better human. You get your things take. Yeah?
Well, I mean, a lot of the commentary has also been what's the other side of the story. What was happening on the family side, trying to cast aspersions on characters as well. But the reality of the matter is that we have an elderly person that was taken advantage of. We need to know what the consequences are going to be because, honestly, again, as we said earlier, this is happening all around the country, perhaps not on the same scale or at the same level of attention from social media, but it is happening.
Wow, let's take another call. Good morning, caller. You are on the air.
Good morning, Dwight.
Hi.
Again. And, the gentleman that called us now, I don't think he understands exactly what was said. I don't know if he only heard part of it, but as it was said, the young was taking care of her Grammy, needed a job, got a job offer, paid this woman. She didn't give this woman the woman and then walk away. She paid her to take care of her grandmother. That is taking care of her. So I don't care how you try to twist it. She was taking care of her grandmother.
Oh, okay. And we're getting messages from people who said that the sister who has the power of attorney claims that she was visiting her every week at the home. So people at the home had the opportunity to say, hey, she's saying that she wants to give me the home. They could have brought it up. But of course, they know why they probably didn't. So I don't know what is true and what's not true, but in any event, you don't have the right to do this.
Yes, true. But if you look at it, they are not disputing what the family is saying. She never disputed that the young lady didn't hire her. She never disputed that the sister of the lady did not come and visit. She never disputed. All she's saying is the woman give her the stuff. The woman give her the stuff. So that right there casts dispersion on her.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. All right, let's read these messages here. Yeah. Okay. I want to know what all was missing and what type of renovations cost $20,000. They can't leave me hanging. I'm invested in this story, Dwight. I want answers. Well, around here it's very easy to rack up that number, that amount of repairs to a home. Very, very, very easy.
Very quickly.
Oh my goodness. This is a lot. Yeah. So a lot. This is a long text. Punched. Yes. Lawyers, doctors, everybody involved. This person says that we have to investigate the churches too. They persuade old people to sign their properties and homes over to them. It's totally wrong. I saw the lady in question crying about not being able to go into restaurants without being harassed. Okay, I'm editing a lot there. Yeah, boy, this is, I don't know if we can read some of these. So the granddaughter couldn't visit because she's physically working on another island. Someone living on the island needs power of attorney because someone has to be able to get funds from the bank to pay for expenses, purchase supplies, and do other business when necessary. I think people are overlooking the fact that this young lady not only left her grandmother, but also her children. What now? Including a baby. That's not easy, so I don't think it's neglect.
No.
Okay. As for taking care of the old, sick, and young, social services is taking old people off the food list while workers are getting bonuses for this. What now? What is this? What are you talking about? Okay, this is getting a little weird. Let's take this call before we have to move on. Good morning, caller. You're on the air. Okay. Yeah. Well. So apparently they told ZNS it was almost a year that she was at the home. The story is getting wilder. As C. Allen said earlier, it's got lots of twists and turns. So I don't know. We'll take one final call, and then we got to move on. And that's the problem, because the other things happening in the background are complicating the issue. But we got one straightforward thing that needs to be dealt with. Can you... when dealing with somebody of diminished capacity, you get a lawyer and have them hand over everything to you just out of the blue like that. Is that allowed by the law, and what should be the consequences of something like that? When there are a lot of other family members involved who probably should be notified of this before you do anything like this. But hey, good morning, caller. You're on the air.
Good morning, Dwight.
Hi, good morning.
Good morning to your co-host.
Morning.
Yeah, that lawyer, Kevin Russell or something, he should be disbarred. Because the woman is his cousin too. And what type of shady stuff that is was going on with that man. She talking, but the woman picked the lawyer. He didn't say on the news, Miss Knowles called him direct. And that's his cousin. All type of shady stuff going. He should be disbarred, man. They should look into that. And the doctor said, will check her head and talking about she all right and everything. That they should check their license, so their license should be revoked. And Miss Knowles reeling that a little crocodile tears and things what you doing. And if you don't fix your and do your nails, that's your business. But stop trying to take advantage of old people, man. It's not right.
Okay.
That was in Bahamas.
Oh boy! Wow. Okay. Thank you very much. As we said, we want to hear from the Bar Association and the Medical Association. All the associations. Everybody needs to say something. The only people talking so far are the Alzheimer's Association. But this kind of stuff cannot be allowed to continue. Good morning, caller. You're on the air.
Dwight, good morning, DeAndre. Good morning once again. Yeah. Just to add on to the previous caller. Yeah. Now, all of these persons are called into question. Because basically, here it is, I can't see in a person's right mind, knowing that a family member is there, knowing that this woman had other family members, that they would not have consulted or called those family members to have a meeting with them to say, listen, this is what is being said, this is what's being requested of me. What would you as a family want me to do about this? They should have known that they were going to get pushed back on this. It's more like taking advantage of someone of even if it is diminished capacity. They should have still turned around and contacted the family and had a conversation. You just don't do things like that to also get the pensions of this woman signed over to them. That's nonsense. And in fact, how did they even get past National Insurance or the other pension agencies when letters from the persons authorizing them to receive their pension should have been done? It's just so many loopholes in this thing, but I'm going to tell you, it brings the spotlight onto these systems that need closer scrutiny and examination. We have too many loose ends in this country, and persons have been exploiting these areas for quite some time without recourse. But it has to be fixed, and I'm happy this has happened because now it brings a spotlight onto some of these other agencies that persons ordinarily would not be looking at on a daily basis. But thanks for taking my call again this morning.
All right, thanks a lot. Hey, we got to take a break. We're playing Rod Stewart all day for those of us who missed the concert, couldn't afford the concert over the weekend. We'll be back with more Morning Blend in just a bit.
And may sunshine and happiness surround you when you fall. And may you grow to be proud, dignified and true. And do unto others as you'd have done to you. Be courageous and
Sherwin-Williams Bahamas doesn't mess about when it comes to product range and product knowledge.
If it's a new product come in the store, we walk the store and study that product.
One thing with our boss, if a new product comes in, he takes the time and he's always keeping us up to date with product knowledge. And we just had 9 weeks of different products that we had to study, and we had exams at the end of each product.
Yeah.
The only way we could sell the product effective, we have to know that product. Yeah, that helps our customers. It gives us better knowledge to know what product to introduce to them. You understand? So we can know what product to give them to use and what product not to give them to use. So product knowledge is really key in Sherwin-Williams.
They got the keys. And the key is the product knowledge that comes with our extensive product range at Sherwin-Williams Paints, Bahamas. Find color in every day.
Are you looking to save for a big purchase or occasion? Do you want your money to start making money for you? Well, let me introduce myself. My name is Bond, the Bahamas Government Savings Bond. I am guaranteed to earn interest on your money with terms ranging from 1 to 6 years. Government savings bonds are available to all Bahamians, and for as little as $100, you can start to save for your future. The Bahamas Government Saving Bond, a safe investment guaranteed. Check out the Central Bank of the Bahamas website for details.
Frank, what you doing? Looking at some new insurance options, Uncle Joe.
Insurance? You should ask me. I've got a guy on Collins Avenue who does my motor insurance. My home policy is through a lady I work with. Now, Johnny's gonna hook me up with medical and life. Now, for pensions, I'd like to spread that one around a little bit.
Or I could call CG Atlantic. They do all of that.
With all the insurance and pensions cover you need in one place, we're like an uncle that doesn't give you bad advice. CG Atlantic. Good like that.
The Anchor Awards are just around the corner, and we're celebrating our amazing fishers. Want to be a part of the fun? Grab your tickets now at ticketflare.com/Anchor Awards. Tickets are just $60, and it's super easy to purchase. Click Buy Tickets, choose how many you want, and boom. Your QR codes get sent straight to your inbox. All you got to do now is dress up, show up, and let us scan you in. Don't miss out. Get your tickets today. Let's honor our Legends of the Sea on November 16th at the Bahama Resort Convention Center.
In the world of business, technology is not a choice. Businesses that demand excellence, there's only one choice for unparalleled support and cutting-edge technology. Custom Computers. You have challenges and we have solutions. Computing, networking, storage, and printing for enterprises large and small, aligned with premium brands like HP, Microsoft, Konica Minolta, and more. Get tech done the right way with Custom Computers. Call the Know-How team at 396-1101.
Have you already tried our President Butter? Ooh la la. Indulge a little with President, because now, more than ever, we need to savor the taste, textures, and feelings to truly enjoy the little things that mean the most. President Butter, something to savor.
Get ready for an exciting October with National Public Service Week. Join us for a fun-filled week of the community spirit and celebration. Kicking things off October 17th, the Family Feud Night at Anethol Rogers High School at 6 p.m. Bring your family and compete for some fantastic prizes. Then you don't want to miss the Golden Oldies and Old School Dance Friday, October 25th, 8 p.m. happening at the Ministry of Service and Ministry of Health Veranda and Lower Terrace. Let's groove to the classics. Ready for some friendly competition? Join us for the Softball Jamboree on Saturday, October 26th and Saturday, November 2nd, starting at 9 a.m. at the Blue Hills Sporting Complex. On Sunday, October 27th, join us for a meaningful church service at Bahamas Harvest JFK, 11 a.m. And then, of course, we're going to honor our retirees Monday, October 28th at 10 a.m. for the retirees recognition ceremony and reception at Government House. Curious about your future? You don't want to miss the career fair on Tuesday the 29th and Wednesday the 30th at the Kendall G.L. Isaacs Gymnasium. Ah, boy, we can't forget the float parade. November 1st, departing at 9 a.m. from Arawaki. Show your colors and celebrate with us. This is National Public Service Week 2024.
Drive happy with free fuel for a year with CIBC First Caribbean and Esso. Use your CIBC First Caribbean Visa debit or credit card to fuel up with 20 or over any participating Esso service station, and you are automatically entered for a chance to win the grand prize and weekly prizes of $200 in fuel or cash. Offer runs until March 20th too. Terms and conditions apply. Visit CIBCFCIB.com for more details. The Esso brand is a trademark of the ExxonMobil Corporation and is used under license.
Your final look at weather for today, brought to you by Sherwin-Williams Paints. Here's what's happening. We've got a strong high-pressure system located just north of the Bahamas. That's going to continue to influence the weather across the country, generating very windy conditions, reaching gale force. A stationary front extending from a low-pressure system located northeast of the southeast Bahamas to the Windward Passage. But that front's going to dissipate later today ahead of a reinforcing cold front that will move across the country and stall over the southeast Bahamas by Wednesday. Strong high pressure will follow, increasing the winds, building the seas, and creating hazardous conditions. So again, gale force winds, strong to gale force, expected beginning this week through at least the middle of the week, beginning today. Boaters should exercise caution due to building seas, hazardous marine conditions expected tomorrow through Wednesday with strong winds and high seas. Beachgoers in the northern and northwest Bahamas should exercise caution due to moderate risk of rip currents. The central and southeast Bahamas are advised to stay out of the water due to rough seas and dangerous surf. All right, so for today, for the northern and northwest Bahamas, we're looking at partly cloudy and breezy conditions with isolated showers. Pretty much the same for the central islands, but a chance of thunderstorms in the southeast Bahamas. High temperatures in the mid-80s today, around 85 Fahrenheit, 29-30 Celsius. Overnight lows tonight getting down to a very comfortable 69 Fahrenheit, 21 Celsius. In your extended outlook for the next few days, partly cloudy to cloudy and windy with isolated showers and thunderstorms. By Thursday, partly to mostly sunny, very windy. Chance of isolated showers in the northern, northwest, and central Bahamas, but partly cloudy and very windy with isolated showers and isolated thunderstorms. In the southeast Bahamas, that should hold through Friday as well, with the windy conditions continuing straight into the weekend. In the tropics, we're watching a broad area of low pressure that may develop in the southwestern Caribbean Sea in a few days. Gradual development is possible, and a tropical depression could late this week or over the weekend. The system is something we should be watching, but it is too early to determine if it will be an issue for the southern Bahamas especially. The chance of formation through 7 days is 40%. That's your morning blend weather check. Weather check brought to you by Sherwin-Williams Paints. Sherwin-Williams Paints has got you covered for all your painting and equipment needs. Visit Sherwin-Williams Paints in-store or online today. And at 8:43, time for another check of your traffic for the morning, brought to you by RBC. Find your loan solution with RBC. As we've been telling you, we've got a few schools closed for midterm, and so the traffic situation is much more manageable. In your real-time traffic at this hour, a couple of the hot spots in Tonic-Williams-Darling Highway. So northbound on Mile Butler Highway, definitely manageable, just as you get north of Harold Pond, where you see cars in front of you today. But on the Tonic-Williams-Darling Highway side, it's backed up a bit westbound toward that roundabout. Not much to talk about on Gladstone Road. Just as you get closer to Munnings Road, you see a few cars in front of you. We are seeing some heavy traffic, though, heading into downtown. So if you're on West Bay Street, just east of Arawak Key, some slow-moving traffic eastbound. and in the downtown area near Blue Hill Road and Duke Street, and as you make your way down Navy Line Road, some slow-moving traffic there as well. Otherwise, not much to talk about. That's your real-time traffic and your Morning Blend traffic alert brought to you by RBC. Start a conversation at rbc.com/loan/all of you.
Some guys have all the love, some guys have all the fame, some guys get all the praise, some guys do nothing but complain. Alone in a crowd on a bus after work and I'm dreaming. The guy next to me has a girl in his arms.
We are back with Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9. Dwight Strachan with Deandra Cartwright. And this morning, Hey Sis, an empowerment and resource center for women. They're going to tell us about their event that is coming up in just a few days, From Stuck to Unstoppable. Here to give us all the details about this, we're very pleased to welcome Anjanette Saint, Chantel, Thompson, Pinder, and a name that sounds very familiar to us, Laverne Gardner? Is that right? Laverne Gardner. Where did I know that name from?
Good morning, Dwight, and to Deandra.
Oh, this Laverne Gardner. Well. Good morning, Laverne. Great to have you with us.
It's good to be here on a Monday with Deandra. I don't get to do this, and so
Happy to
I'm going to
have
completely
you.
ignore you, and I'm just going to focus on her this morning.
Yay!
Hey, good morning to the other ladies. So, Laverne Gardner, tell us about Hey Sis. What exactly is Hey Sis about?
Hey Sis I'm the founder of Hey Sis Empowerment and Resource Center for Women. And what it is a space that I'm building to highlight, educate, uplift, create a sisterhood. And we do that through our online and in-person seminars, and also through our Hey Sis Coffee and Conversations podcast. And yeah, so it's really just to help to build our female community. That is the focus. And I'm sure by now that our friend is already WhatsApping you. You know, our friend who always has an issue when we talk
Well,
about
I'm sure it's
things.
coming. I'm sure it's coming.
I'm sure it's gonna come.
So
But
how-
that is, yeah.
Yeah, how long has it been in existence now? When did you start this?
Hey Sis has been in existence since December of 20.
Okay, what led you to do this?
What led me to do this is I recognized, and just even from a personal standpoint, how important it was to have that community of women that you could not only talk to, but also we could support each other, whether it's in business, whether it's in our personal life. It made such a difference. It's so important. And you find out as you have these conversations, as you're talking, that other women feel the same way. They want to have this kind of community, not sure how to go about it. And it was creating a space where you could be real, you could be honest, and you knew that you had support. And so that was important to me. And like I said, talking and with other women, you recognize it's the same thing. Personally, also by nature, I am an encourager. I'm one of those people. If you're doing something, I'm right. Oh, I help. What do you? And so this was right in my wheelhouse. And I really prayed about it, asked God to direct me. And Hey Sis was birthed.
Wonderful. Wow. Oh, so tell us some of the things that you've done in the past couple of years, the successes that you've had.
Okay, so we have created, I've started a podcast. It's called Hey Sis, Coffee and Conversation. And it has been so helpful to many women because we talk about issues that women face, and we've talked about um, are you relationship fit, right? You may want a relationship, but you got some toxic things maybe you need to work on.
Oh,
So
wow.
we've dealt with that. We've been privileged to have Dr. E as one of our guests.
Nice.
That has been really good. We've talked about the difficulty of facing infertility. And again, we've had women come in and share their very personal and true stories, help so many of them. Our first seminar we did was online. It was a virtual one. I think it was, we were still kind of virtual. And so we talked about the marital act. We had Attorney Reynard Penfield on, and he was talking about the marital act and everything that is entailed. It was right around the time when we started to talk about marital rape. We did that, and we just really wanted to educate women, the general public too, to know what your rights are as it pertains to the law and what is needed. So we did that. Last year, we focused on women's health. And so we had Patrice Lockhart. She came over, and so we talked about perimenopause, menopause, and pelvic floor health. This year, we are focusing on personal and professional development. And so that is where from stuck to unstoppable came, because we recognize that, and it may not be your entire life, but there may be areas in your life where you feel it's like you have these ideas in your head, but you can't seem to get them from out of your head to begin to actualize them. Or you're looking at your life and you're saying, okay, I thought I would be further ahead in this area. How am I moving? Or you just, where to go? What's next for me? And so and it's more of a workshop than it is a seminar.
Okay.
We're focusing on that.
Okay.
Addressing those issues.
All right. So I want to find out all about the workshop, but I want to ask Anjanette Saint and Chantel Thompson Pinder. They are members. Is that how it works of HASIS?
They are my unstoppable team.
Okay.
And so how it is, so you'll understand. When you come in, it isn't just a matter of you coming there, sitting down, and people, talking to you, motivating you, which is awesome, super. I've created a workbook that you're going to be working through. And so women will be at tables, and every table will have a table. And that table leader will encourage the dialogue, discussion to help you get through the workbook. And so Anjanette Saint and Chantel Thompson Pinder, they are part of the Unstoppable team, and they are table leaders.
Okay, all right. So, ladies, let's talk about that and how you feel being a part of this and personal and professional development and your views on all of this.
Good morning, Dwight. It's so good to be here.
Good morning. Good morning.
Morning.
Good morning. Morning, Chantel. I'll allow Chantel to go ahead.
No, you go. I just was saying good morning. So feel free, my lady.
Okay, great.
Okay, Anjanette.
I am a nail technician of over 21 years, and Laverne and I, of course, are really close friends. And we had this conversation a few weeks back about entrepreneurship and where both of us are in our journey. And it just was, reflecting on where we are and what's next. And we realized, like for me as a business person for all of these years, that it doesn't really matter how far you've come. You always get to this crossroad where there's something else. Mm-hmm. There's something more. And even though for me in particular, I have been able to achieve a measure of success as it relates to being a nail technician and being busy and being in demand, you still get to a place where I feel a little stuck because there's always another level. And for me, stuck looked like, this is going to sound so contrary, but stuck for me was being so super booked that I was not able to serve another customer, but I know that there's so much more service that I can offer.
Wow.
So while there are who have a measure of success, you always feel like you can give more. And what does giving more look like? And how do you make giving more happen? And so for me, being a part of From Stuck to Unstoppable, this is my way of giving more and serving more beyond my nail table. So I'm so excited to be a part of this and to be able to impact the lives of the women who are going to come in there, knowing full well that no one's an island. So whatever it is you're going through, chances are there's at least two more people going through the same thing.
Oh, boy. Wow. Okay. Thank you for sharing that, Anjanette. Appreciate it. Chantel, let's hear from you.
Yes. Morning. And how are you today?
We're doing well. We're doing well.
But first of all, before I get started, I'm celebrating my 41st birthday today.
Oh, wow.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday. Happy birthday.
Yes.
Happy birthday, Chantel.
Yes, before being 40, most women didn't embrace, but with age comes wisdom, and I'm thankful and I'm blessed and I'm embracing it with such grace. So I thank God for that. This has been something that I can relate to. When she said from unstuck to unstoppable, that was the story of my life. I found myself after going through divorce in a really dark place for so long. I was depressed and I didn't even know I was depressed. That's how bad it was. It became like a new norm for me. It was like a new home. You didn't even know what was going on, but you became so familiar until I encountered the love of God and I got freedom. And then he began to walk me through going through broken strongholds and, just beginning to free me from so many bondages. And as I began to journal and write and spend time with God, I realized that there was a purpose behind all of that. And I began to share my stories with other women, because I realized that after a while I was not alone. And there are so many people out there who want to hear the truth. How do I get from this place to the next place? And, I began to write vision boards, and I still have my vision boards today. I began to journal. And when I encountered Miss Laverne, and she and I had a little small talk, I'm like, wow, this is something that I'm passionate about. And I was honored to be a part of her team. From unstuck to unstoppable, because that's something that I journey and I fight every day by the grace of God and through the power of the Holy Spirit. So I'm excited to be a part of this wonderful team. And I pray that, working with other women, that they too will be enlightened and encouraged through this seminar.
Mm-hmm. Wonderful. Wow. Laverne, you're doing big things over there. Mm-hmm.
There's work to be done, Dwight, and we are committed to doing the work. And, I just want to mention my other team members. I don't want to leave everyone. We have 10. So we envision that every table is going to be filled with women who, wherever you find yourself, you're open to come. It's for the professional, it's for personal development. That is who we're doing it for. But some of my team, Anika Johnson, Charmaine Johnson, myself, Kaylee Newton, Deborah Pratt, Brenna May Roll Cooper, Anjanette Saint, Melissa says, Chantel Thompson Pinder, Linda Wright Patrick, and my host, Charmaine Russell. So all women who have gone through this journey, who are going through this journey. And that's what it is. And so you never reach a place where I've got it all mastered. And it's so important to be able to have that support. So what we're going to be doing when you come in there, some of the things that we're going to be covering. The first thing is we're going to discuss gaining clarity in your vision and goals. You need to know where it is that you are going, this vision that you have. How can we refine this? And we're going to work through that. And then we're going to address overcoming limiting beliefs and fears. And that is a big roadblock for many of us. Whether it's fear of failure, whether we feel like we're not good enough, We want to talk about that, but write those things down, and then we want to turn them into positive affirmations. And then we want to, once you've created these goals from your vision, we want to create actionable steps, because it's wonderful to say you want to, I don't know, Dwight, you want to be a millionaire in 5 years. Well, what are you going to do to get there? Right? And so we want the women who are coming to be able to create those actionable steps and have that confidence in moving forward and faith and in purpose. And so at the end of the day, when they leave, they have a workbook that they have designed, written down, that they can follow, look at. And it doesn't have to be completely perfect at the end of this workshop. It will be a work in progress. So if you are in Grand Bahama, it is at the Pelican Bay Resort, November 10th. Tickets are $55, only $55. That is November 10th at 5 o'clock p.m. To purchase your tickets, you can contact me at 826-6278. But I have a treat. Now, Dwight, you know, whenever I'm on the show and there's an activity going on, I always say what?
What about Grand Bahama?
Exactly.
Right. So yeah.
That I've got,
what about New Providence?
I was going to ask.
Yes. If you are in New Providence or any family island, you will be able to join us virtually. If this resonated with you, if you find yourself in this place, feelings of your life, we would love to have you be a part of this workshop. You will receive the workbook. You will be able to ask questions. You will see what's going on in the room. You will have your own table lead. All of that will be available to you if you would like to join us virtually.
Oh, they'll receive the work. Will it be a virtual workbook?
We will send out, once you register, we will send you a digital copy of the workbook, and you are able to print it. Or if you want to edit it, you'll be able to edit it if you want to just keep it online or keep it, digital.
Excellent. Okay. So how do folks do that?
All you have to do is reach out, 826-6278. You can send me a message, or you can give me a call, 826-6278. That is November 10th, 5 o'clock p.m.
Is there a deadline to register? Or
yes, the deadline is actually this Friday.
Wow. Okay.
This Friday is the deadline. We can't wait. That is November 1st. We want to know who we're going to have, and so that we make sure that we are able to cater to everyone.
Okay.
And, I know people say this, so people go like, yeah, right. But literally, tickets are going very quickly.
How many people can you accommodate
very quickly
over there in Grand Bahama? How many people?
In person? 90.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
So tickets are going fast. Deadline to register November 1st. Excellent stuff. And after this, what can we expect from Hey Sis?
Oh boy. So after this, right, you don't make it easy. But after this, you could look out for Hey Sis. We are going to be creating a video series, and it is talking about Proverbs 31 woman as an entrepreneur. So that will be the focus. And so it'll be a video series.
Okay. All right. So
you'll be able to download whichever aspect speaks to you. But we're basing it on that, and I'm excited. That's the next thing. But right now, we're all about from stuck to unstoppable. And Dwight, before we go, I got to give a big shout out to my sponsors, because without sponsors, this would not have been possible. And I'm so appreciative of people, just businesses, organizations just coming on board and supporting Hey Sis. And so thank you so much, Star General, the Grand Bahama Port Authority, Bahamas Institute of Business and Technology, Imagine Graphics, and of course, Guardian Radio. So I want to say thank you, really, thank you to all of you for believing in Hey Sis. And ladies, if you are out there, do not miss out on this opportunity. 826-6278, November 10th. If you're in Grand Bahama, we will be in person at the Pelican Bay Resort. Registration is only $55. And for those of you who are in person, I know my people, yes, you will have something to eat. Now, it isn't going to be Sunday dinner, but yes, you will have something to eat. I know my people, so I have to let them know that.
Right.
And for those of you who are not in Grand Bahama, you are still able to join us virtually and have that experience. And reach out to us, 826-6278.
Okay. It's going to be great. Laverne Gardner, thank you so much for telling us all about
Thank
this.
you for having us.
And Anjanette Saint and Chantel Thompson Pinder, thank you both for being with us this morning. Really appreciate it. Again,
Thank
it's
you for the opportunity, Dwight.
Thank you so much.
our pleasure. Hey Sis, Empowerment and Resource Center for Women, and the event From Stuck to Unstoppable, November 10th at the Pelican Bay Resort in Grand Bahama. All right, so it's time for news. We'll be back with Morning Blend Business in just a bit. Stay with us.
All those loans I had were so overwhelming. Fidelity's debt consolidation loan combined all my loan payments into one easy payment with a built-in savings plan that pays me unbeatable interest. It's time to make that move to Fidelity. Call 356-7764.
Fidelity, we're good for you.
A legacy of leadership. Join the International Third World Leadership Association in partnership with the Miles and Ruth Monroe Foundation for Legacy Weekend, celebrating the legacy of Dr. Miles Monroe and other visionary leaders. November 8th to the 9th, experience 3 powerful events. ITWLA hosts Legacy Leadership Lectures, honoring distinguished global leaders. The Miles and Ruth Monroe Foundation presents Legacy Walk to Remember, 5K and 10K routes along West Bay Streets, Nassau, Bahamas. Then join us for the Legacy Reunion Concert, featuring Grammy-winning gospel artist Yolanda Adams and Sherwin Gardner at the Miles E. Monroe Diplomat Center.
Hey guys, it's Yolanda Adams. It's about to be a celebration, November 8th through the 10th at the Miles E. Monroe Diplomat Center. I can't wait to see you. Come on.
Visit ITWLA.com for details. Don't miss Legacy Weekend.
Are you uninsured and seeking a plan that can give you quality health care at discounted rates? Unlock affordable health care with Doctors Hospital's LAMP. Enjoy unlimited primary care visits, exclusive discounts of up to 20%, and complimentary imaging and nutrition services. Visit doctorshosp.com/LAMP to register. Comprehensive, cost-effective wellness starts with LAMP.
Screws and Fasteners World, Balfour Avenue in Palm Beach, is hard to find fasteners for you right now. You can find stainless steel regular hex, carriage bolts, galvanized bolts, threaded rods, nails, self-tap screws, sex bolts, anchor bolts, turnbuckles, masonry tools, hand tools, and weed whacker strings. Check out the rope selection and car body fasteners too. Special orders are welcome. It's your #1 fastener store. Screws and Fasteners World, Balfour Avenue and Palm Beach Streets. Call 326-1976.
Enter to win big at the Entrepreneurship Think Tank, brought to you by the Tourism Development Corporation. Learn from top industry professionals on how to launch, scale, and expand your business all for free. Sign up today to win big with our special jackpot prizes set to take your business to the next level. It's all happening at the Andre Rogers Baseball Stadium on October 15th at 5:45 p.m. Don't wait. Sign up today at tdcbahamas.com.
Nassau Cruise Port is bringing you spooky fun. Thursday, October 31st from 7 p.m. to 1 a.m. Unleash your inner ghoul at a Apocalypse. Grab your best costume for a night of weekend karaoke with Ruma the Entertainer. Then turn up with Pusha Jr., DJ One Time, and more at the after party. $10 gets you in on the scary action with contests and surprises all night long. Apocalypse. It's gonna be scary good.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM, Nassau, Bahamas.
The views and opinions of the hosts and guests are their own and do not necessarily reflect the position of the management and staff of Guardian Network.
Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day.
Good morning and welcome to Morning Blend Business on this Monday, October 28th, 2024. Welcome back to our... Once again, I'm Dwight Strachan along with Deandra Cartwright, and this morning we are going to be talking about the National Trade Diversification Program. To tell us all about this, we are very pleased to welcome the Deputy Chair of the Bahamas Trade Commission, Senator Barry Griffin. Good morning, sir. Great to have you with us.
Good morning. Good morning. Thank you, Dwight, for finally having me on your show.
I feel like you've
when
been
we were
here
off
before.
air, I had to let him know that this is the first time I've ever been here. I don't think I've been invited.
You got to
but,
check this out.
You
I
know,
don't believe it's right.
appreciation for having me here this morning.
Well, finally, I could swear that you've been here. Not in this capacity, but you've been here before.
I've been in this room, but not on your show.
You sure about this?
Yeah. Anyway, so let this be the first of many.
Must we start fact checking so
Yeah,
early?
we really do need to. It's 12 years, so you might not
So
remember.
you treat me like Trump and Vance. I need to be fact checked. Okay.
That's how it goes. But great to have you here, finally, apparently. But good stuff. All right, so National Trade Diversification Program. Okay, what is this? This is something very new, I take it.
So this is something very new. This is something that the government is in the process of launching, and so we kind of wanted to give you a first preview. This is the first time we're speaking about this sort of very publicly. But
Very honored.
Over the last 2 to 3 years, we've been working feverishly behind the scenes to get this program up and running. So yeah, as I said before, this is the first time we're really publicly speaking about this, but this is a program that has been in the works for the past 2 to 3 years. And so to give you a little background, a little context, cost of living. That's the only sort of word you're hearing on the street these days, cost of living. The cost of living in the Bahamas is too high. We pay way too much on almost every single product. And there are a lot of facts and a lot of myths surrounding this, why things are more expensive in the Bahamas. People say because, we're an island nation, we import everything. But many other countries in the world import most of their products. There are lots of other island nations, in particular in the Caribbean, and their goods aren't as expensive as here in the Bahamas. Many of us who travel, we know that. And so we've been doing the research behind the scenes for the last 2 years. But while all of that continues, one of the things we want to do is to insert some direct competition into the market. And so this program, called the National Trade Diversification Program, is a program essentially where the government is supporting the business community, in particular the small business community, to diversify where goods and products come from. And so we're using the connections that the government has with foreign governments, meeting suppliers and producers and manufacturers across the world, and putting them in direct contact with the Bahamian private sector. And so as we all know, we import virtually everything from the United States. And in particular, we import virtually everything from Florida, which means we almost have sort of a single source supplier.
Right.
Many of the things come from the very same suppliers in Florida. And so what we want to do is, for some security in terms of our trade, but also for the cost competitive nature of it, we want to diversify that trade. And so we have lots of trading partners in Latin America and the Caribbean that we want the small business community in particular to be introduced to, so that we introduce more choice, variety, and options into the market, more cost competitive products.
Okay, you said a lot. You
Yeah.
said a lot, and earlier you mentioned myths and some possibly not accurate information. But won't it not really make a difference where you're getting these things from once you attach the duty and the VAT and sometimes the second VAT on top of all of these things? Isn't that why we are seeing these issues here?
And I'm glad you mentioned that. Exactly. That's one of the sort of myths surrounding this. But
So this is a myth?
So we're doing the research, and from what we found so far is that our level of taxation in the Bahamas is not extremely different than a lot of our comparable nations. And in particular, when you look at the Caribbean, on a lot of goods, our level of taxation is pretty much in line with the rest of the Caribbean, and in some instances, even less. One example that I found particularly interesting, in Barbados, for example, when you import cars, it's 120% duty. We're 60% here in the Bahamas.
My goodness.
I still think 60% is a lot,
Yeah.
but just to sort of give that comparison, and not to say that that's the same for products across the board, but what we found is that our level is just around our comparable nations. Another example would be, if you look across the Caribbean, the level of VAT tends to be around 12 to 15%. Our VAT here in the Bahamas is 10%. And so, again, that's one of the myths. Obviously, products, are more expensive because of the taxes and duties that are added on, but it's not to the level where products should be vastly more expensive than they are in a Jamaica or Trinidad or Barbados because of the taxes.
Right.
And so, again, that's one of the myths surrounding why the cost of living is so high in the Bahamas.
All right, so are we talking about different brands? Is that what you're going to be encouraging? Because I think people are stuck on the brands they like. But is that what this is about? Or are you able to source the same brands from a different market? What are we looking at here?
So both. So as much as possible, we are finding the manufacturers of these products in foreign countries. And so, for example, we'll give you an example. Listerine. Listerine is a product that is used across the world, but branded differently across the world. And so we met with one of the manufacturers of Listerine in Brazil. So they package it as Listerine, sell it to the United States, or it goes to the United States as Listerine, but it goes around the world in other brands. Another example would be Tide. It's Tide in the US, but it's Daz in Latin America, and it's Ariel in the United Kingdom. So those of us who have lived and studied in the United Kingdom, we use Ariel. Those of us who live in the Bahamas or the US, we use Tide. But it's literally the exact same product. And so it's educating Bahamians a little bit about that, to say you're pretty much going to be, it's the exact same product under a different brand. Sometimes we find the same product under the same brand and we're able to bring that to market. And sometimes it's just plainly introducing new products and new brands to the market. For example, there are many products, again, Bahamians who have lived abroad or studied abroad in the Caribbean, there are many products that are well known across the Caribbean that you may have encountered when you travel there, but they're not here in the Bahamas. But these are things that, our Caribbean palate would like. For example, plantain chips, potato chips, banana chips, things like that are very popular across the Caribbean. And we see a little bit of it here in the Bahamas. It's introducing those things sort of as an alternative for some people, but also another consideration for others, sort of increasing the variety. So we're going to be doing a little bit of both, trying to bring the exact same product and brand here, but also introducing things to the market that would provide more variety.
Excellent. All right, so that's going to be a tough one, get the education, because I think, as I said, people are stuck on the brands I guess with the American influence on TV, you see the commercials, so you know it, but some strange name. How are you gonna do this? How are you gonna get them to even consider making that purchase, even though it's going to save them quite a bit, possibly?
Again, that's another myth sort of surrounding this whole process. We've found that in the current economy, Bahamians are more than ever ready to look at alternative brands. The reality is, because things are so expensive, we find that even middle class and sort of upper class Bahamians are changing their spending habits. For example, we've looked at, for example, diapers and Pampers, for example. You go into Super Value now, those things are in Spanish and people are buying them.
Right.
When you look at things like a tin of condensed milk or evaporated milk, you see a variety of different brands now. Previously, you would have seen sort of 2 or 3 brands that everybody knows, but you see different brands now that, again, the research shows that Bahamians are buying them, and mainly because of the price. They go somewhere, and for certain products that they're not particularly brand conscious on, they buy on price. And so we do know that there are some products that Bahamians will sort of stick with their traditional brands. But again, it's not about us forcing or changing the buying habits of Bahamians. We want to offer variety and options in the market. So if you decide that I don't necessarily need to have this particular brand, my kid can eat a Jamaican, banana chip and not Lay's, that option is there. But if you want to stay with Lay's, the Lay's chip will always be there in the food store.
So are we going to see more of that? Items in different languages? Is that what the future is going to look like?
No, not necessarily. And so as far as possible, these companies are all international companies that sell products around the world. And so it won't be sort of something just, coming to the Bahamian market. And so products will be in English. Some you may find that both languages are on them. And again, it's not just Latin America. We're also looking heavily into the Caribbean right now. And so those things will, obviously be in English. But yeah, so a lot of the markets are foreign language markets in Latin America. Even in the Caribbean, we're looking at Puerto Rico and Dominican Republic, for example, for things like fresh fruits and fresh juices. And so, yeah, we will be bringing that variety into the country.
Tell us more about your partners. Who's a part of the initiative?
So in the Bahamas, we have sort of lots of partners. So Bahamas Trade Commission, which I'm representing here today. The Access Accelerated Small Business Development Center is a partner. The Bahamas Chamber of Commerce is a partner. We obviously have many government partners. BASFA, the Food Authority, is one of our partners, obviously ensuring that everything that comes into the country meets the exact same standards as American or other products currently coming into the country. Yeah, so BASFA is on there. But the reality is, businesses are free now to import from all of these countries. The only thing the government is doing now is helping to facilitate that relationship and make it a little bit easier. And so if you go to a lot of small stores and even some of the larger stores now, you already see some of these products that we want to introduce on a more large scale. But also the Customs Department is a partner in this, and the Consumer Affairs Division in the Ministry of Economic Affairs, they're partners in this as well.
Yeah. All right, so I want to get back. You've got some events coming up. I want to get to that in a bit. But I'm getting a message. You mentioned Barbados with the duty on the automobiles, but somebody's messaging and saying, well, but this is what's contributing to the high cost of living here. You don't have to have a car in a place like Barbados. The public transportation system is quite effective and works even well into the evening. Here in the
Who said
Bahamas,
that?
this is a texter sending that.
Have they been to Barbados?
So they say, yes, apparently they have.
Have you been to Barbados?
It's been a long time. But
Okay.
you're saying it's not like that?
I haven't lived in Barbados. I've been there, and I think it's very similar, where there's a public transportation that is able to be used if you want to use public transportation. But by and large, many Bajans still, drive cars. But again, that's not the sort
Right.
of purpose of this discussion. But again, as
In other parts of the world, yes. So
Yeah.
you don't have to. You could use the train
Public
or
transport,
the
yeah.
bus or something like that.
Yeah.
And so let's talk about that. So it's more than just the cost of the items that's driving up the cost here. It's just you're forced to do so many things. Can anything be done about that?
forced to do so many things in
Like,
terms of...
as in, you need to have a car if you really want to get around here. The public transportation might not be an option. Things that people do in other cities, you can walk to where you need to go. Not quite something you can do in New Providence.
Yep. So This initiative is one initiative that's part of the government's whole cost of living strategy. So as you would see, the government is doing things in energy, put this down because that's, again, something that contributes hugely to the cost of living here. The government is doing things in housing to put more affordable housing on the market. Again, that contributes to the cost of living. Part of this initiative as well that we're going to get on to discuss when we discuss the events is that we're not just focused on food and beverage products, but our studies also show that the cost of building and construction here is also something that contributes to the high cost of living, where people are unable to sort of access, building their own home or apartments and commercial complexes investing. So another thing we're seeking to source from other jurisdictions would be construction materials, building supplies, things like that. And so we want to be able to bring in more inexpensively into the country things like cement, steel, wood, nails, finished products, things like that, things you would find in a hardware store, so that it's less expensive to build. And so again, we're not saying this one program is going to solve all of our cost of living issues, but where it involves into the country, this program is intended to put a dent into that. Sure. And by and large, the main reason that products here are more expensive is because, one, we're getting a lot of them from single source suppliers where there's less diversification, less competition in the market for those products. So again, if you're comfortable buying the products as they are now, the brands and the prices, they'll still be here on the market. But the point is we want to introduce variety and options into the market so that if you want to consider an alternative, they're there.
How soon do you think you'll really begin to see the effects of this?
So the idea is that we want to see the effects of this by the holiday season this year. So part of the reason why I'm here is to promote the events we're having, because we want to strongly get the business community involved. This is not a mandate from the government where we're going to mandate that businesses buy from these new suppliers, etc. It's really all voluntary. And so we want to educate the public on what's going on. Businesses in particular. And so I'm here this morning speaking to the convenience stores, the variety stores, the retailers, the importers, the distributors, the contractors, the developers, the building supply stores, the hardware stores, letting them know about the program and inviting them to the events that we're having this week so that they can learn a little bit more and also meet the manufacturers and producers of these products. They'll meet them virtually online. Some will be here in person to speak to them. But yeah, the idea is just so that they can see catalogs of products, see prices, get information on how these things are made, information on the company, so that they can start the process of learning about these products to see what they think can work in their particular stores here.
Okay, all right. We're talking with Senator Barry Griffin, and we're talking about the National Trade Diversification Program. Okay, so you got these town hall meetings. Tell us about them. When are these going to be?
So the town hall meetings are this week, Wednesday and Thursday, the 30th of October and the 31st of October. They both will be at 6 and both at the Small Business Development Center's location on Gladstone Road. And so you're free to come to any of the sessions. We'll be talking generally and holistically about the project. However, on Wednesday, we're targeting more of the convenience stores, variety stores, retailers, pharmacies, and et cetera, and similar businesses. And on Thursday, we're targeting more people from the construction sector. So contractors, developers, building supply stores, hardware stores. The message is going to be a little tailored, but please feel free to come to either one that you're available to come to. And yeah, this is our process of giving information. Our partners will be there, SBDC, Chamber of Commerce, etc. And so we're inviting, small businesses. We're inviting members of the Chamber of Commerce to attend. We just want this to be a process in which we provide the information, and the program is open, and businesses will be able to start ordering from these suppliers immediately.
Do you need to register, or can you just show up, or how does
just show up? All of that happens there. We give you the information if you're interested. You register to sign up for the program, where you'll get more information on catalogs, etc., more information on how to order products. We just want you to show up. We just want you to receive the information, and then we'll go from there.
Not necessarily for the members of the public. Or
Members of the public
You
are free to attend as well. If you want to come for your own information purposes, that's fine. In particular, I'm encouraging young people and young entrepreneurs to come because I think this also opens up an entirely new avenue for business in the Bahamas. So young people who are considering, the import-export business, this might be an opportunity to meet suppliers that you can be the Bahamas sort of representative for particular products. You can enter the, import and distribution business. Folks who currently own small businesses in the country, you can find new products to diversify your lineup. So I think it's also an opportunity for young entrepreneurs to learn information as well.
Excellent. Okay, we mentioned BAFSA, that's how they say it, right? Bahamas Agricultural Health and Food Safety
I won't try to say it, so I'll let you say it.
Right. All right, so I'm sure people will be concerned. Like, will this meet the same standards as products out of the USA or UK or something like that? How are we ensuring that this will be of the same quality?
Yeah, so every product that enters the country has to meet the same requirements. And so where there are sort of new products that sort of never been into the country before, they're going to have to go through the same sort of requirement enrollment process as products from the United States, Canada, the UK, sort of everywhere. So I'll give you an example. When you're bringing in sort of live animals or you're bringing in meat products, so chicken, beef, poultry, BAS will go through a process in which it contacts the home country of the product to see if the factory that they're made in is certified. There's certain certifications that have to be met. We in this country follow sort of more of the American line of FDA procedures. And so as long as that country sort of meets those, it would be accepted into this country. And BASFA also has the ability to require that they go down there and look at the factory and things themselves. And so that's a process that not just is only done for this program, but for any product that enters the country. And so it will follow the exact same processes.
All right. So you say it's not a mandatory thing. This is voluntary. If you don't get the buy-in, what will the government do? And what will that mean about the success of this program?
So the idea now is the program is just starting. We think we will get the buy-in, and so we're very focused on sort of educating Bahamians. And again, this is just but one part of the government's sort of larger strategy on cost of living. And so right now we're focused on these two key sectors, which our research has indicated these are the things that Bahamians care about the most right now, that's sort of hitting their pockets in terms of items that are imported. But we do intend to expand the program to include other sectors and other product, for example, more on household consumables. So small home appliances, bringing in things that every household needs, sort of the microwaves, the kettles, the air fryers, things like that, bringing them in more, less expensively. We also want to get in the, large electronics business and also sort of high tech. So think solar panels, things like that we're encouraging people to put on their homes. And so diversifying where we sort of get those from. So we intend to expand the program. And so if these particular products may not necessarily fit your need or hit your sort of pocket right now, then perhaps other areas that we're going to expand to, the businesses or individuals might be more interested in. In addition, right now we're working with a few family island businesses that are part of the program now. So we intend to expand this from Nassau to all of the family islands as well. Because if you think prices in Nassau are expensive, go to some of those family islands, You're spending like $15 on a box of cereal,
Wow. All right. So is there like an overall target that you have in mind? In a year or two that you want to bring down the cost of living by a certain number of points? Or what are you looking at? How are you going to measure the real success here?
And so I will allow the Minister for Economic Affairs and the Prime Minister to answer those questions. And so right now we're in the process of signing businesses up to the program, getting it started. But there will be a formal launch of the program in the next few weeks where the ministers responsible will give all of the more pertinent details, including those numbers. Because like I said, that's part of the government's larger cost of living strategy. And so that we want to be able to connect all of these things in the public's head. But I will tell you now, the idea of the program is to bring the prices down at the till. And so the success of the program for us will be measured on the fact of if you right now in September or October see these particular things at a certain price in the supermarket, and in December we are able to show you where that exact same or similar product is offered at a more rate at stores across the country, that would be the success of the program, that you now have a less expensive option that is still same quality, very high quality. That would be the success of the program.
And December as in 2 months from now.
December as in 2 months right now. You know, a shipment could come in tomorrow and the prices are lower. So it really depends on the adoption rate of the businesses. But on the government side, we're ready to facilitate. And so what we're saying is this isn't a government program. This is a government supported program. We're letting the private sector do what they do, but the government has the resources and the connections to build relationships with the suppliers and manufacturers abroad, create the regulatory environment with countries that we feel would be beneficial in terms of trade, and we can introduce those partners to the private sector. The government can facilitate the registration process of new products with BASFA, with the Customs Department, and the government, you know, will support in any other way that we can. So we're creating the program for the private sector to take advantage of.
Okay, great stuff. Griffin, he's the deputy chair of the Bahamas Trade Commission, and we're talking about the National Trade Diversification Program. We got some calls coming in. We can take some calls. And we got some of your text messages as well. Continue to text us, 422-4796. Call in, 323-6232, 325-4316. 325-4259. Call us toll free, 242-300-5720. If we can get out of the top 10 list for the most expensive places in the world to live, that would be great, right? Win that. Caller, what say you? Good morning.
Good morning. How you doing?
Doing well.
Yeah. You said the most fun, but one thing is, I just wanted to know if they will educate the public or the people on the duty rates, because they say in everything, everything what they want, but the people want they hear. But right now, the people small businesses who trying to get up on top right now and trying to make it, the duty rates them what the shipping companies say, but bringing in certain things, and but they're not going with the rules and the regulation with government. If you bring in something duty free and you bringing in something through these couriers or the shipping company, they saying that government telling them one thing and then putting something on the paper is the next thing. Because something I bring in the other day, as a small businessman, was duty free. But the lady tell me, government telling them this item is 45%. So I just wanted to know if that y'all gonna have, so y'all can educate people, and so people could know, and given the breakdown, and the government and the public would know that this, if they bringing in something, it would be, if this be the right duty onto the items, so you could be able to sell it more. Make a profit, and plus get a good deal out of it.
Okay, I'm just curious. I mean, you don't have to say if you don't want to. Can you say what that item was that's supposed to be duty free, but they wanted to charge you 45%? Would you mind?
Yeah, that is a streaming device, Android streaming TV box.
Okay, interesting. All right, thank you very much. Yeah, you see that a lot, and I think I talked about this on the show a few days ago, that it's so complicated when you look at right, based on the material. It may be duty free, it may be 10%, it may be 25% because it has plastic or it's wood or whatever, but it's the same thing. Is that part of this to streamline it, simplify it, the duty rates? Is that a part of what's going on here?
So no, that's not part of this particular program. However, we will take on sort of the task of sort of educating the businesses that are in the program, educating them on and moving them through the process of bringing goods in that are on the list of products to bring in. So, for example, as we said, the Customs Department is a partner in this program, and so they'll be working with businesses to streamline the process of, the click-to-clear process and sort of bringing goods in and knowing with the duty rates of every single product that is on our product list, sort of bringing them in.
Right.
The duty rates are obviously publicly available on the Customs website. But at this point, if businesses find that it's a sort of a complicated process to work through, I will take it back to the team that we can take on a larger role in terms of, educating people on the prices. Now, if you want the duty rate go down, that's a little bit above my pay grade. You're going to have to invite the PM and the Minister of Economic Affairs in here to talk about that part of it. But again, as we've said before, as much as possible, everything that contributes to high cost of living in the Bahamas, the government is taking a deep dive into and sort of working how holistically everything can kind of work together to bring down costs here in the country.
Right. This texter is saying, what about freight? Why do we have to pay on the cost of the goods plus the freight? If we only had to pay on the cost of the goods, that would automatically reduce the price to consumers.
I had that same question.
So I'll answer this in two parts. One, VAT is simply on all services. And so the freight company is offering a service, and so that's VAT on that service. The person selling you the goods, that's a service, and that's a VAT on that. And so just strictly from a legal standpoint, VAT is on all services. There can be consideration for the government to exempt certain services, but again, that's another conversation. The other thing is, we found that, in particular, for example, over the last 3 budget cycles, the government would have reduced duty on a number of products. And we found that hasn't exactly translated to the consumer. And so a lot of persons are messaging and calling in and say, if you reduce the VAT on this, it would be less. If you reduce the duty on this, it would be less. It would be less cost that the business pays for it. But that doesn't necessarily mean it will translate to lower prices at the till, as we've seen before. And so now we're pivoting strategies, adding else to our policy mix to see if this will actually have an effect, because the reality is that we've lowered the duties over the last 3 budget cycles, and we've not seen that translate to the consumers, because businesses then say, oh, well, our labor costs have gone up, our electricity costs have gone up, our freight costs have gone up. And so we actually can't lower the price. And so, again, we're using something else in our arsenal to try and tweak that to see if, to ensure that the prices go down in this regard.
Oh boy. Well, this is a similar question from this texter. How will the group prevent businesses from simply profiting the savings, right? And how will you stop them saying, well, I got bills to pay too?
Yep, same thing. So that's part of the program. So we're sort of working out the details of this, but being part of the program, we want businesses who buy into what the program is intended to accomplish, which is to create a more cost competitive sort of environment in the country. And so businesses would voluntarily agree to keep their prices competitive, to suck up the savings into their profits.
Right.
So that's part of being in the program, is sort of agreeing to have your prices be cost competitive.
Now, I have a question with that right there, because that sounds like a gentleman's agreement that may or may not be kept, because we, as much as we would want honesty from others, how do we hold them accountable? So I would assume, just as you're able to give us those cost differentiations of savings across the board that are potentially available, that when a business says or can document, or perhaps it can be some sort of mechanism where they have to report, hey, well, this could have cost us, but this is what it now costs through using this new channel. Is that going to be an option as well? So that as a Bahamian public, we can maybe hold them accountable, but also know that we had that option?
So, I've known you for a while, and you've always been ahead of the class. So, and you're exactly here. So I didn't want to sort of discuss this today because it's another initiative that we're doing, but it ties exactly into that. And so part of being more into the market, part of that is transparency. And so we very fully realize that, the current market in the Bahamas isn't very transparent. We have done the research, and literally if you're a mom or a dad shopping for your family, you literally have to go to each separate store to look at the prices. There isn't anywhere as other countries you can go online and compare prices, etc., and compare that information. So another initiative that the government is currently working on that you'll see launch very soon is a price comparison tool, where as a consumer, you're able to go on a website or go on an app and compare prices across stores and across products. And so we're going to use that app to monitor this program to ensure that the businesses that sign up to this program are in fact passing those cost savings on to consumers. But more largely speaking, it will entail virtually initially a great sample of stores from across the Bahamas, and then eventually to include every single store in the Bahamas where you can search for prices based on location. So you can say, hey, I'm a location out east. I want the nearest store that has the cheapest XYZ product.
wow.
Or you can search by island, you can search by product, or you can search by store. Because some people say, I only shop at Solomon's, I only shop at Super Value, to see if there's even a price differentiation between the locations of those stores. Because some people have said they've seen price differentiations even between stores under the same brand. And so
that's true.
And that's reality.
So you got me to release that little bit of information sooner than we wanted to. But again, it's part of our entire, cost of living strategy. But we agree that transparency in the market is key. And if we want to have true competition, the public needs to be able to access that information.
Sadly, do you think you're going to have to incentivize some of these businesses to lower their prices and not pocket the difference? Do you think that's going to...
So we think this is the incentive here, the program, because through the program, you'll be able to access manufacturers, providers, producers, suppliers who you wouldn't have access to through the program. Also, the program, what I didn't mention, is puts these orders in sort of bulk order. So you may be a small store in Nassau Village who only orders 100 toothpaste, 5 of this, 500 of this. But when your order with an international supplier is paired with 1,000 other small businesses, then you all receive that cost savings on shipping. You all receive that cost savings on price because, again, when you order directly from the manufacturers, the price is based on the volume.
Right.
And so you wouldn't have access to that same level of savings if you were not into the program as a small business. And so that's one of the incentives there.
Okay.
And again, we live in a free liberal democracy. We're not in the business of, hammering companies to say you have to be a part of this program, you have to do this. But that's the beauty of the free market and competition. Because if your neighbor down the street is offering these products at a more cost competitive price and consumers now go to them, you will naturally be forced to adapt or, go into non-existence.
Excellent. Let's take these calls really quickly. Good morning, caller, you're on the air. Hi, good morning.
Hello.
Yes.
Yeah, Mr. Strachan, great information. And I like the concept of the businesses, like small businesses, right, are being forced to import products that they use because of this supply chain corruption, right? And what I'm saying is, I'm noticing that we have problems getting in certain supplies that really crucial to the upholstery business, right? And you're not seeing them for a while. And the ones that come in, they're very inferior. So this is a great idea. But what I'd like to know is there any incentive for small business people, like let's say with duty rates, as far as bringing in necessities that I need, not to sell or retail. Do we get the same rates as the big conglomerates? As far as staple, I just can't get a lot of stuff that I need, so I'm actually have to buy what they have, and then I just order. And so this may be a chance for I heard the guy talking about the problem with the shipping companies. So I'd just like for you to come on with that. But as far as the tariffs, and is there any incentive? Because otherwise, it basically will be forced. It's a great idea that you say to co-op. And so how could I get involved in this? Me and some other guys could get together and order the foam, staples, etc. The people are taking advantage of us. The major companies don't have the stuff that I need. But you see what I'm saying?
Okay,
bless them.
So you need to be at the town halls.
Yeah, so I'm not sure I understood everything he said, but I think sort of part of the point of it is that a lot of the things a lot of businesses need are not here in country, and it's hard to import it.
Yeah.
And so I exactly agree with him that this is a possible avenue for that. And so definitely come to the town halls Wednesday and Thursday of this week, 6:30 p.m. at SBDC location where you can learn more. And that's the kind of sort of attitude that we want people to have. The idea is to partner with your other small local businesses and order in bulk so that you not only get the cost savings on your economies of scale bulk order, but also on freight coming into the country. And the other thing he tapped into is what we're doing. So we've been speaking to local stores over the last 2 years. So we have a list of products that they say, this is what our stores need, this is what consumers want. We've gone out, we found the suppliers for that, built those relationships. But Another part of it would be folks like him who come to us and say, well, this product I want is not on this list. What about foam? What about this? What about that? Can you help us to find suppliers for that? And we are doing that in the program. We'll go out, help you find the suppliers, and then put it out to the public and get as many businesses as possible to order from those suppliers so that we can get the cost savings.
Yeah, excellent. Again, 6:30 SBDC on Gladstone Road.
Yes, Wednesday and Thursday of this week.
All right. This person says here the duty rate list, commonly imported items, used to be free, but now it is requiring a subscription. Oh boy, I don't know if you can.
No, I'm not sure about that, so I'll have to look into that. So I will look into that. But as far as I'm aware, there's a PDF document that's on the customs website that you can just download.
Yeah. Let's take this final call. Good morning, caller. You're on the air. Are you there? No. Okay. Somebody's saying here, it sounds like the government is importing the items. That's not what this is.
No, and that's why I wanted to be clear where I said this is a government-supported initiative. It's not a government initiative in the sense that the government is doing this. So we're creating the favorable conditions and the environment for the businesses to do that. So if you're a business owner, you may not know the shopkeeper in Andros or Bimini or even down the street. And so we're creating a program where we've brought the manufacturers, producers, suppliers to the table, as many of them as possible. And let's just give an arbitrary number. We brought 1,000 small businesses to the table, the convenience stores, the retailers, the variety shops. And we're putting them in the same room to say, hey, you have the supplies at a rate that we need in the Bahamas. These are the businesses that can benefit from your products. Speak to each other. And so we facilitated that process. The businesses will be buying the products by themselves, putting in the orders with the suppliers. But for example, we've worked out a deal with the suppliers where you bulk all of the Bahamian orders. And so the 10 businesses don't have to speak to each other, but when they order with that international company, bulk together so they get bulk pricing, the orders are shipped together so that you get the cost savings on the freight in terms of shipping and they come to the Bahamas. But the government is not purchasing the product for the businesses. Right. We're just creating the environment. I think, where I sit, that's one of the great things about what government can do. It's not necessarily always about the government sort of, buying or putting that in, but the government does have the resources and the might to kind of facilitate these things and bring people together.
Right. Senator Barry Griffin, this person's asking, what about the Family Islands? Are you having town halls in the Family Islands?
So yes, that is part of the plan. So right now we have 3 Family Island businesses that are part of this, that are part of the program now. They're intended to be sort of in this pilot phase, but shortly after the Christmas period, that's when we'll be officially expanding to the Family Islands, going to have town halls on all the major Family Islands and get businesses involved there. But right now, they're free to sign up to the program, etc., learn all the information. But there's obviously a logistical step of getting goods from New Providence or Freeport to the Family Islands. And so we want to sort of set the program on steady ground and then expand everywhere.
So how do you do that? How do you sign up for the program?
So you come to the town halls and you get the information. You sign up there on the spot. If you're unable to come to the town halls and want more information, you can email trade@bahamas.gov.bs. That's trade@bahamas.gov.bs.
Okay. One more time, let people know Wednesday and Thursday was going to be.
Yes. So for everyone listening, we're encouraging entrepreneurs, small businesses, convenience stores, retailers, variety shops, everyone in construction, building supply stores, hardware stores. We're inviting you to a town hall meeting at SBDC on Wednesday the 30th and Thursday the 31st at 6:30 p.m. to find out more information about the National Trade Diversification. So this is an opportunity for you to find out more information on how we can connect you with suppliers and manufacturers of products, virtually every single product around the world, but in particular in Latin America and the Caribbean, that would give your business a boost up in the market. It would, allow you to sell more cost competitive products. But the idea for the government is that we want you to pass those cost savings on to the consumers so that Bahamians experience a decrease in the cost of living.
Okay. All right. And you're saying as early as December, we might begin to notice.
Yes. So what I want you to do is this weekend, go shopping, put together your list, save your receipt, and then based on the average, I want to actually use you as an example. And then on the average of, what you sort of spend, we want you to go back to stores in December through our partners in the program to see if you can get those exact same products at a more cost competitive price.
Even better, the government should give me the money to go and buy the stuff. And then we can talk about it.
I was gonna say, I don't know if we have like caviar and stuff like that on our list yet. So you take those off the list.
Okay, all right, Senator Barry Griffin, thank you so much for being here this morning. Great stuff. National Trade Development Program, Diversification Program, and we want to have you back later in the year
please, so we can do a review of what's been happening. That would be great.
Sounds wonderful. Thank you again.
Thank you for having me.
We're going to take a quick break and then be back to wrap things up. This is Morning Blend Business on Guardian Radio 96.9.
Getting out this home with $1 in his pocket and a head full of dreams. He said somehow, someway, it's gotta get better than this. Patty packed her bags, left a note for her mama. She was just 17. There were tears in her eyes when she kissed her little sister goodbye. They held each other tight as they drove them through the night. They were so excited.
This November, the Nassau Guardian is celebrating 180 years. And we want to thank you, our loyal readers, for helping to make this one of the oldest in the region. We want you to be a part of our Vision Challenge giveaway promotion, beginning October 28th through November 22nd. All you need to do is find the hidden Nassau Guardian 180 Years logo, printed every day in the Nassau Guardian newspaper, and you could win prize money. Just purchase your daily Nassau Guardian newspaper every day, beginning Monday, October 28th. Find the 180th Nassau Guardian logo, cut out the page, mark the spot, write your name and phone number on that clipping, drop off your entries at our offices on Carter Street in Oakesfield, and every Friday, November 1st, November 8th, November 15th, and November 22nd, one drawing will take place. It's that simple.
Celebrate the ease of opening a new account online with Scotiabank. Follow these 3 steps to access a world of possibilities. Step 1, visit bs.scotiabank.com. Step 2, select an account type to best suit your needs. Step 3, complete the form and upload your documents. Open your new Scotiabank account online today.
This message is proudly Fez, Senator the Honorable Michael E. Halkias.
I'm proud to introduce the Made in the Bahamas certification, a mark of pride and quality. Join us on Thursday, November 14th at 5:30 p.m. for the BBSQ's National Town Hall meeting at the Holy Trinity Anglican Church Activity Center. This free 2-hour event is your chance to learn more about the Made in the Bahamas certification program and how it benefits us all.
It is time for your morning business report brought to you by CFAL. Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of Tourism, Investments and Aviation Chester Cooper will engage in a series of bilateral meetings while attending the 8th edition of the Future Investment Initiative. That conference is going to be in Saudi Arabia. The state, in a statement, it explains that the theme of this year's conference is Infinite Horizons, Investing Today, Shaping Tomorrow. An executive of the company developing the Kekona luxury resort in South Apico will have positive effects for the residents of the area, pointing out that he shares the same concerns as the various environmental groups. Chief Financial Officer Thomas Boynton of the South Apico Land Development Company telling a town hall meeting that the development will be done over 3 sites, and that the first will be by the Leeward Harbor adjacent to the Sandy Point Airport, which covers about 105 acres, with a 39-acre marina. The second project site will be High Bank Bay, which is 503 acres on the east coast of South Apico, 5 miles north of Hole in the Wall. The third site is at the Conch Sound Point, which will also have a golf practice area along with a small branded residence with 100 estate homes. Bonefish and Tarpon Trust has shared its concerns about the project's impact on the Cross Harbor respawning grounds for bonefish. BNT, the Bahamas National Trust, also said it categorically opposes the project over fears of damage to Cross Harbor, in addition to the potential loss of habitat for the Apico parrot and several other bird species. And Bahamas Society of Engineers President Dr. Stephen Curran says the building codes need to be revised every 3 to 4 years. Curran telling Guardian Business that the BSC supports the recent update of the building codes coming into effect in the third quarter of 2025. And the Bahamas ranks number 17 out of 26 countries in Latin America and the Caribbean when its implementation and use of public-private partnerships was assessed in a study commissioned by the IDB, the Inter-American Development Bank. The country's overall index score for PPP implementation and use is 38.5 out of 100. That means that for all the index categories ranked by the creators of the report, the Bahamas was below average on each scale. More on that in today's Guardian Business section. And in your Market Watch recapping trading on the BISX from Friday, your market movers, AML Foods Limited moving 9,075 shares, closing up 15 cents to 565. CIBC First Caribbean moving 1,200, up 14.43. Consolidated Water down 1 cent to 487. And Emira Incorporated down 7 cents to 935. The BISX All Share Index closing at 2,935.52, up 0.46. That's your Market Watch, and that is your morning business report brought to you by Seafowl, growing wealth for future generations. And tune into Seafowl Talks tonight at 6:30 p.m. right here on Guardian Radio 96.9. And that is going to do it for us today. Deandra Cartwright, thank you so much for being here this morning.
Dwight Sean, thank you so much for having me.
I'll see you next week.
Yes, indeed, on Monday. But I'll be back here at Guardian on Saturday.
That's right.
For the happy hour at 12 noon. Tune in for your daily dose of happiness.
Okay, wonderful stuff. I'll be back tomorrow morning with more Morning Blend and Morning Blend Business right here on Guardian Radio 96.9. Dwight Strachan, have a great day. Stay tuned for On the Clock with Aaron Green next.
Are you ready for November 2nd? Because we are ready!
Hi, this is KB, and I will be performing live.
Break and Scrape Explosion. Reloaded.
This is the one and only John letting y'all know that yours truly will be performing.
Oh yeah, this your boy D-Mac, and I'll be performing live.
Keep the vibe alive, music groove, and Alpha Sounds Promotion invites you to the biggest Rake and Scrape concert of the year.
And you thought they was gonna leave me out?
Saturday, November 2nd at Super Club Breezes Ground.
It's me, Mama D.
This is Wilfred Solomon.
Yo, it's your boy Ron.
It's your boy Elliot from the New Breed Band.
The biggest artist of the 242.
It's your boy Shine 242.
Hey, it's Sherrod Taylor.
It's your boy Johnny K. The Falcon Showback.
It's your boy DJ Rep.
It's me now, Funky D. This is your girl Nishi Al-As, a.k.a. Miss Loose Me.
Hey there, this is Freak on Beat.
Hey, this is Cheeto D, and I will be performing live.
Hey, it's me, Julian Belize.
Tickets available at the Beauty Shack and BahamasEtickets.com. The countdown is on.